Sports Special. I'm Scott Nolte, joined by Gino Startari for this afternoon's exciting contest between the Bellaire Big Reds and the Steubenville Central Catholic Crusaders. Gino, these two programs probably two of the more elite programs here in the Ohio Valley.
Yeah, and as John Ruskowski, one of our techs, said today, if you can't get up for this game, you're not a big football fan, but these two teams are the class of the Valley. Steubenville Central, of course, we know they had a state championship last year. Bellaire, over 500 wins in their school career. Two big-time programs today.
Now, last week, Bellaire had a very exciting ball game here right on this field, winning in overtime against a very tough Cambridge team.
Yeah, and they've got a couple scares the last couple weeks here at Nelson Field. Of course, Edison had a 2-touchdown lead on them at halftime, and last week, Cambridge, they had to go to OT. Jose Davis with the 2-point conversion to win it. And they've been getting some scares here. I'm sure Magistro doesn't like that too much, Coach Magistro.
Not at all. Also, on the other hand, last Friday night, Steubenville Catholic Central was a loser against city rival Steubenville, 14-0 at Harding Stadium.
Scott, keep in mind, until that loss last week against Steubenville, Steubenville Catholic Central rattled off 12 straight wins. That was the longest unbeaten streak to date. That loss last week snapped that 12-game unbeaten streak. And if you remember last year, they began that win streak with a win here against Bellaire. So I know Coach Greg Bay would like that to recounter that win last year.
Well, we'll see if the Crusaders can get another winning streak started today, or if the Bellaire Big Reds will continue to roll on. The starting lineups and the opening kickoff are coming up next on our News Channel 7 Sports Special. Across the 10, the 15, and he's met by Steubenville Catholic Central at about the 20, angles up to about the 23, and that's where it'll be. First down at 10 for Bellaire. They'll start at their own 23-yard line.
Sophomore Robert Orsini with the tackle, and they mark him where, Scott? No, at the 23, 24-yard line. So good return coverage there for Steubenville Catholic Central. Benji Clouds, as usual, a great kickoff.
Bellaire on their first drive of the afternoon will set the offense for you coming up right after this play. Quarterback, of course, Jose Davis underneath center. One lone setback this time, that's Casey Coyne. Pitch on the 5-step drop, goes over the middle, and it's intercepted. Picked off there on the tip by Josh Bracone. And Bracone picks off Jose Davis on his first pass of the afternoon. You know that one was tipped.
Well, obviously it wasn't Jose Davis's fault. That ball should have been caught. It was through the hands of Dusty Kinder. The Big Reds last week against Cambridge had a lot of trouble catching the football. I think that's why the game was so close. Cambridge had a great game last week, but they had a lot of drop passes, and because of that, Bellaire finds himself in a hole right off the bat.
And Steubenville Catholic Central, fantastic field position. The quarterback, Benji Claus, handoff up inside this time. Goes to Josh Bracone, and Bracone angles his way up to the 20-yard line. So a pickup of about 4 on the first down play. Let's look at the starting offensive lineup for the Crusaders from Steubenville Catholic Central High School. The quarterback, like I said, is Benji Claus. Mike D'Onofrio is the fullback. Josh Bracone, the tailback. Chitachibe, the tight end. Dave Connor, the split end. Wide receiver, Danny Lewis. And there's the offensive line makeup also for the Crusaders. Second down and 5 now for Steubenville Catholic Central. Handoff again to Bracone. Tries to get outside, and he does, near a first down marker, but he's still going to be about a yard short, down to the 15. They need to get just across the 15 to about the 14-yard line. Let's take a look also at the starting defensive lineup for the Bellaire Big Reds. They'll find themselves deep in a hole right now. Linebackers, Rich Mamie, Ben Taylor, Bobby Roth. Defensive backs, Keith Pitts, David Petros, Jeremiah Johnson, also Scott Pitch, Dusty Kinder, defensive end-wise, Mark Mason at the tackles. It's Jason Myers and Dusty Holt. Third down and 1 now for the Crusaders. The handoff this time, given that time to D'Onofrio. He gets across the 15 and picks up about 2 yards. That'll be enough for a first down for the Crusaders. And it is first down at 10, ball now on about the 14-yard line.
Well, Greg Bain's going to be happy so far with his offense. His first series here, and they pick up a first down right off the bat. First and 10, ball on the 13. And big games like this, you always talk about turnovers.
Yep.
And right now, Bellaire starts the game off on a down note with that turnover. And Steubenville Central looking to capitalize.
The Crusaders in fantastic field position. The ball on the 13-yard line. Claus. The handoff in the backfield and fumbled by Bracone. And Bellaire got it back. Whoa. On the handoff that time, Gino, it looked as if Bracone really never got a good hand on it at all. He was kind of fumbling it, and if we can look at the replay here.
Did somebody say turnover? We did say turnovers.
Yes.
A big part already off the bat between these two well-coached teams, and these two teams aren't the type of teams that turn the ball over. That's why they win football games. But right now, I don't know if it's pre-game jitters or early game jitters, but right now both teams not looking impressive as far as the turnover is concerned.
And a big pickup that time for Bellaire. The handoff to Pitts, shedding tacklers across the 20, across the 25, up to the 26, and near a first down for Bellaire. Almost 10 yards that time on the carry by Pitts.
Scott, what makes great running backs so great is they keep their feet moving. They never want to go down, and Scotty Pitts kept his feet moving. You can't tackle the great running backs high. You got to hit them low, and Scotty Pitts kept the feet moving. Scotty Pitts comes into this game with 336 yards rushing. He averages 4.1 yards a carry, 6 touchdowns. He's also a good receiver out of the backfield. He's showing it right there.
Gino, they're stretching the change across the way, and Bellaire did get enough that time. Scotty Pitts picked up 10 yards on the carry. He got enough, and it's a Bellaire first down. Ball on about the 26-yard line, so first down and 10 now for Bellaire. 9:24 still left to go here in the first quarter of play. No score yet from Nelson Field. Bellaire on their second drive of the afternoon. Handoff this time up inside. Given to Casey Coyne, and Coyne gets up to the 30-yard line. Let's take a moment and set the Bellaire starting offensive lineup for you. Of course, at quarterback, it is Jose Davis. And at tailback, it's Scotty Pitts. The fullback is Casey Coyne. Tight end, Dusty Kinder. David Petros is the wide receiver, also with Bobby Timberlake at wide out. And the offensive line set up also there for you for the Big Reds of Bellaire High School. We'll take a look at the starting defensive lineup for Steubenville Catholic Central coming up after this play. 2nd and 6 now. They go with the inside handoff to Coyne once again. He gets minimal yardage across the 30-yard line up to about the 31.5-yard line. So let's look at the starting defensive lineup also now for the Crusaders from Steubenville Catholic Central High School. Of course, we're coming off a loss from last week. They lost 14-0. There you see it. Jason Yanni, Greg Serafini, Joe Bracone, Mike D'Onofrio, Danny Lewis, and Dave Connor. Also a defensive back, Benji Claus, defensive end, Chita Chibe. Also the other end, it's Dave Tuttle, Jason Angelica, and Carmine Montana.
Of course, that's Josh Bracone. Sorry about that, Josh.
Jose Davis to the air, and this pass goes off of the hands of Mark Mason and out of bounds, so it's incomplete. That'll bring up 4th and 4. That was 3rd down and 4.
Well, Jose Davis is a tough one, a tough quarterback. When you get pressure on him, though, any quarterback that gets a guy in his face is going to have a tough time. But number 42, Mike D'Onofrio in him to get pressure on him, and that caused the pass to go out of bounds.
So Bellaire now having to punt. Ben Taylor with the kick. Down to Benji Claus at his own 35. Sheds a few tacklers, gets across the 40 and up to the 44-yard line. And so the Crusaders will start on their second drive of the afternoon, this time on their own side of the 50-yard line. First down and 10 for Steubenville Catholic Central on the 44.
As we mentioned in the pregame, Scott, Steubenville Central coming into this game with the loss last week against Steubenville Big Red. Now, if you remember last year when they put together those 12 straight wins, they did so with a win over Bellaire. So Greg Bain looking to reciprocate that.
And also coming off a loss the week before to Steubenville. So we'll see what they could do this afternoon. They hand up in the backfield to Bracone. He's across the 45 up to the 48-yard line where he goes out of bounds. So a pickup of about 3 that time on the carry. It'll bring up 2nd down and 7 now for the Crusaders.
Linebacker Rich Mamie making the stop there. Scott, you'll be calling his name often today. Coach Magistro calls him one of the best linebackers he has ever coached, and he will have double digits when it comes to tackles today. He also can run the football on offense.
So 2nd down now and 7 for the Crusaders. Ball on about the 48-yard line. Claus brings his club up to the line of scrimmage. 2 wideouts to the near side. Dropping back, looking downfield is Claus. Lots of time over the middle. He's got Dave Connor. Connor across the Bellaire 35 down to the 34-yard line. A nice pickup that time for the Crusaders. All the way from their own 47 down to the Bellaire 34.
20 yards in the pickup there, a first down. That's the most important thing for Greg Bain and crew. But Dave Connor is his favorite receiver, and he found the seam there across the middle. and good yards, 20 yards and a first down.
Clock continuing to turn here with the first quarter, 6 minutes and 44 seconds. No score as of yet. The Crusaders on their second drive of the afternoon. High set this time behind Claus. Twins to the far side. They'll give the inside handoff to D'Onofrio. And he'll get a few yards up inside, a pickup of maybe 2 that time on the carry. We'll call it second down now and 8 for the Crusaders.
Big Dusty Holt, number 77 for Bellaire, making the stop there. He's the captain on this football team, one of the captains, and we talked about Rich Mamie being a big mainstay on defense. Well, Dusty Holt anchors that defensive line, and he's a great one.
These are two teams, Gino, that really can play defense very well. And we've seen that all season long out of what they've been able to do to their opponents. So should be a great struggle all afternoon long here between these two clubs. Second down at 8 now for the Crusaders. They'll send Twins to the near side. Claus on a 5-step drop, looking again for Connor, and he has him. Connor across the 25, and that's where he'll be brought down. Scotty Pitts in on the tackle. Also that time Rich Mamie in there also.
Dave, Connor won't dazzle you with great speed or anything. He does have good speed for a high school player, but he's so smart and so intelligent on the football field. He knows how to get open. He can find those seams, and he's just such a heady player, Scott.
They're going to have to bring the change across from the other sideline to see if he's close enough to a first down. They needed to get to the 25. He's near there. It's hard to tell with the players on the sideline if he's actually on the 25 or across it. Looks like he's just to the close far side from the 25. Stretch the chains out and
a little short.
Just short. Missed it by that much. So it's going to bring up third down now and short for the Crusaders, less than a yard. So they need to get just about across the 25.
And how about the day we have here today, Scott?
Oh, beautiful weather. Beautiful weather, and what a great crowd here also, Gino. They tell us that the seating holds about 3,500. That is packed. And then standing room only, 2 around today. All around the track, we have folks standing to watch this great football contest this afternoon between 2 of the Ohio Valley's best, Bellaire and Steubenville Catholic Central. So it's third down and less than a yard for the Crusaders. I set with D'Onofrio and also Bracone in the backfield. And Claus will keep it that time, and he gets across the 25 and up to the 24. That'll be good enough for a Steubenville Central first down.
You know, Scott, having Benji Claus in the backfield as your quarterback, it's like having a third running back. He has great feet and great vision, and that was a no-brainer there. Give it to Benji, and he got the first down easily.
So first down and 10 now for Steubenville on Steubenville Catholic Central on the 24-yard line. 5.5 minutes still left to go here in the first quarter of play. We have no score yet. They'll send Connor to the far side along with Danny Lewis, D'Onofrio, and Bracone in the backfield. And Claus will turn out of the backfield and come to the other way. He's across the 20, across the 15, stays in bounds, and wow, gets all the way down inside the 10. They'll actually mark him out at just about the 10-yard line. We can look at this one again.
Let's take a look at it, Scott. I do believe that might have been a busted play. We can take a look at the moves on this kid. He will not go down. He will not be denied. He smelled that goal line, and as we said, it's like having a third running back back there.
And you could see where he did step out just at about the 10-yard line there on the near sideline. So it'll be another first down now for the Crusaders. Ball on the 11, so they can still get a first down on the 1-yard line without punching it into the end zone. First down and 10 now for Steubenville Catholic Central. Claus brings his troops up to the line. D'Onofrio and Bracone in the backfield. Split outs to each side. Hughes to the far side. Connor to the near side. The option to the far side. There's a flag on the play. Bracone gets the pitch in the backfield, and the Bellaire defense, they had that one figured out from the beginning.
Yeah, Mark Mason, the big defensive end for Bellaire, read it perfectly, and he stayed at home. He didn't get sucked in.
Let's see what the penalty is here, Gino. We have flags to the far side, and that was thrown as soon as the play started. Illegal procedure is the call against Steubenville Catholic Central. So with the illegal motion call, moving back 5 yards, back to the 16. And it'll be now first down again, first down and about 15 now for the Crusaders. Well, Bellaire will decline the penalty, so forget all about that and just bring up the second down. They'll take the down change instead of the yardage.
And that shows some confidence. John Magistro showing some confidence in his defense there. He wants the down instead of the yardage.
So it's now second down for the Crusaders. Ball on the 11-yard line. Underneath 5 minutes to go here. I set with D'Onofrio and Bracone in the backfield. And Claus is going to roll out. He's pursued in the backfield. Gets it away to D'Onofrio. for a pickup of about 4 that time, up to the 8-yard line. And a good job that time by Benji Claus to run away from the Bellaire defense.
I'll tell you what, a better job by Benny Taylor for Bellaire. This kid's only a sophomore. We've seen 2 great tackles already in this football game by Benny Taylor. And as we said, he's only a sophomore. So what's that tell you?
Third down and 7 now for the Crusaders. They need to get to the 1-yard line for a first down, or obviously just punch it in for the score.
I'll tell you what, Scott, I think Claus was looking for Dave Connor in the end zone, but Scotty Pitts really covering Mr. Connor on that last play.
Claus to the air, to the end zone, intended for Connor, and oh my, Scotty Pitts, there he is.
Yeah, I was just telling Scotty Pitts was doing an excellent job on Dave Connor in the last 4 or 5 plays, and that time he showed why. Interception in the end zone, another turnover, Scott Nolte, the 3rd of the game, and the 2nd for Steubenville Central, and that halts the drive.
Turnover number 2 for the Crusaders, and the Big Reds will get the ball now on the 20-yard line. We can look at that play again real quick here. On the intended touchdown pass, you see Claus rolling back. It's a timing pattern to the corner, and Pitts was able to get in front of Connor that time and intercept it. Now they give it to Pitts, back to live action. And Pitts carrying it across the 30, up to the 35. A pickup of 15 yards that time on the carry for Scotty Pitts.
Yeah, this is turning into the Scotty Pitts show. Getting back to that interception, I think Benji would like to have that ball back. Maybe throw that ball out of the end zone. Connor wasn't open, and coming back to the live action, Scotty Pitts 15 yards and a first down.
It looked as if when we looked at it, Gino, as if Claus may have been throwing off of his back foot and really had not set fully before he tossed it. They'll give it to Pitts once again. Another huge hole across the 40, the 45, up to near midfield to about the 48. Another big pickup, this time 13 yards on the carry.
Yeah, and he was running behind big number 77, Dusty Holt. We talked about him on defense. He's also one of the mainstays on offense. And Scotty Pitts, great vision of the football field. Really knows how to read his blockers. Picks up 12 more yards. So 27 yards for Scotty Pitts in the last 2 carries.
First down and 10 again for Bellaire. They move it up to the 48-yard line, just short of midfield. They'll set Timberlake and also Petros to the near side this time. Give the ball, though, inside, that time to Casey Coyne. And Coyne gets across midfield and up to the Steubenville Catholic Central 47. So a pickup of about 5 on the carry that time. We'll call it second down and a long 5, closer to actually 6.
Casey Coyne labeled as that other back in the backfield. You hear a lot about Jose Davis and Scotty Pitts, but every time Casey Coyne touches the football, he's averaging close to 7 yards a carry. And I'm impressed with the way the Bellaire offensive line is moving the ball right now.
Second down at 5 now. Davis, the handoff in the backfield once again to Mr. Pitts. And Pitts gets up to the 45-yard line. Pickup of about 2, so it'll be third down now and 3 for Bellaire. They need to get down to the 42-yard line for a first down.
Jason Yanni had to stave off a block there, but he made the play. That's a great open field tackle while he was being blocked by Jason Yanni.
Davis and the Big Reds back to the line of scrimmage again. Petros and Timberlake to the near side. They'll give the handoff in the backfield to Pitts. He makes a few moves, and what a nice job. Looks like he's got enough yardage for the first down. We'll have to wait for the official spot with the change to the far side. It's hard to tell, but from the initial spot, it looks as if he did get the first down.
I think they'll bring the chain gang out on this one. Very close.
The official is going to take time and ask for the change to be brought over. If he didn't get it, he's just short.
Interesting to see if what Bellaire will do here. If they are short.
If they are short.
They are on the other side of the 50 in Steubenville Central territory, and he is just short by inches.
Just short. There you see it, folks.
So decision time here for Coach John Magistro.
And it looks
like
as if he's going to punt.
Punter. Yeah.
Bringing in Taylor.
They gambled last week in the overtime game with Cambridge. They went for 2 after scoring in overtime.
I don't know, Gino. They may be... They are going to go for it, I think.
Now they are going to go for it, yes.
They're bringing in Taylor as an extra tight end. They'll go with the power eye in the backfield. To the far side, the inside handoff, and fumbled on the exchange, and it's fumbled forward, and I think Bellaire got it. Yes, they did. It was actually fumbled across the 40-yard line. I'm not sure who picked it up inside there. It looks like it might have been Taylor.
Yes, it was
Benny Taylor. Good thing they brought him in.
I'll tell you what, it was a quick snap count by Jose Davis, and I think he pulled out a little fast, and I don't think he really had the ball in the handoff to Scotty Pitts, so almost another big turnover in this game.
Works to the advantage of Bellaire, though. It goes across the 40-yard line, and luckily for them, it went forward instead of backwards.
Benny Taylor, Johnny on the spot.
They get the first down. First and 10 across the 40 at the 39. I set behind Davis. Wideouts to each side. Davis is going to roll out and look downfield. He sets, going long for Bobby Timberlake. Oh, just off of his extended arms. He couldn't get it. Extended that time. It went off of one hand. He threw it just a little too far that time, did Jose Davis.
Jose Davis knew he was going to get popped after he threw this football. Jason Angelica really bearing down on him. Jose Davis, that's a great throw.
Yeah.
Just a little too strong, but he threw the ball, 45 yards in the air.
Set in the pocket
Timberlake,
well.
His favorite receiver, and that one just a little bit too strong, but he was under great pressure by Angelica.
And Timberlake had run by Dave Connor that time. He was open. Davis, the handoff. They'll give it to Pitts. He'll get up to about the 36-yard line, so a pickup of about 3. It's going to bring down now 3rd down and about 7 for Bellaire.
Well, this game starting off as we expected, very exciting. No scoring thus far.
And as we had said earlier, too, a good defensive struggle between two teams so far, but the Big Reds offense really starting to use their muscle here on this drive. We're underneath a minute to play, yes, in the first quarter. We've got an official's timeout right now. Okay, with less than a minute to go right now in the first quarter, well, let's take a break here on our News Channel 7 Sports Special. So Bellaire on 3rd down, unable to pick up enough yardage for the first down on the swing pass out to Scotty Pitts. Only gets back to really the original line of scrimmage. It brings up 4th and 6, and Gino, the Big Reds are going to go for it again.
Yeah, 2-down territory, 35-yard line, too far for a field goal, and really, as you said, when you have a great defense, you can do things like this.
4th and 6, Davis in the shotgun this time. Looking across the middle. Got his man that time, intended for David Petros. Petros had the ball go off his fingertips. He looked over to his side. He saw Bobby Timberlake there. I don't know if he thought maybe Timberlake was going to come over and take a snag at it.
I think if you asked David, I think he'd say he should have had that football. Jose Davis threaded the needle, should have been a first down, but Jose Davis, let's not lie, he throws a very hard football, and that time David Petros not able to come up with the football. Would have been a first down. Made that problem last week against against Cambridge. They dropped a lot of passes in the early going.
Well, only 4 seconds left to go in the quarter now. This should be the last play as Steubenville Catholic Central takes over on offense. The handoff to Josh Bracone. Bracone, a pickup of 5 yards on the carry up to the 40-yard line, and that is the end of the first quarter of play. There you see it, folks. The end of the first quarter. No score yet here from Nelson Field in Bellaire. We played a scoreless first quarter. 0-0 between Steubenville Catholic Central and Bellaire. Let's take a break. We'll come back with second quarter action right after this on our News Channel 7 Sports Special. Welcome back, everybody, to Nelson Field in Bellaire. Scott Nolte and Gino Startari. Scoreless first quarter so far between these two powerhouses here in the Ohio Valley, the Steubenville Catholic Central Crusaders and the Bellaire Big Reds. Good defensive struggle throughout the first quarter of play, and also some turnovers on each side for each one of the clubs.
Yeah, and, you know, in big games like this, you have to, actually in any football game, you don't want the turnovers, but these guys, a lot of emotion going through here. It's probably one of the biggest games of the year. Anytime these two teams meet, it's a big game, and who knows? The turnovers so far haven't hurt either team.
Right.
And the Steubenville Central, both times on their turnovers, have been down in deep territory inside Bellaire territory, so I think it's hurt them the most.
So Steubenville Catholic Central picked up 5 yards on the last play before the end of the first quarter. And so they have a 2nd down and 5 situation now. Ball on the 40-yard line as we begin the second quarter of play here. And the officials take a timeout here before they wind the clock to begin the second quarter. So second down at 5 now. Ball on the 40-yard line. Claus underneath center. I set behind him. Handoff in the backfield to Bracone, and he fumbled the ball, but I think he got a hold of it just before he was hit. Yeah.
Wow. Are they greasing the football down on the field, Scott? I don't know.
A loss of a yard, though, that time on the carry. Takes it back to the 39, so third down and 6 now for Steubenville Catholic Central.
Tell you what, Josh Bracone is the happiest guy in the world right now to get that ball back.
Third and 6 now for the Crusaders. They'll send split outs twins to the near side with Connors and Hughes. And Claus is going to roll out to this side. He's going to tuck it and decide to run with it. Gets across the 45-yard line is where he actually went out of bounds, and he's going to actually be near a first down. We'll have to wait for the official spot, and from the spot on this sideline, Gino, I think he got it because they gave him across the 45.
Well,
yes.
he had to get across the 45 for a first down. That's exactly what he did. Benji Claus not afraid to tuck that football and run, as we said earlier in the show.
Not at all.
It's like having another running back there, and he has great moves. And he knew where he had to get for that first down. He's a smart kid, and he does pick up the first down. He needed, I think, 6. He got 7.
So first down and 10 now for the Crusaders across the 45 at the 46-yard line. They'll split the backs this time behind Claus. One split out to the far side. They'll give it in the backfield to Bracone. Gets across midfield up to the 49. A pickup of nearly 6 that time on the carry by Josh Bracone. So to bring up now second down and 4 for the Crusaders.
He got a big-time block from Mike D'Onofrio on that play. He really set the tone on that play. A great block by D'Onofrio springs him for, 5 yards in a play. So big, nice yardage on first down.
Second down now and a long 4, closer to actually 5. They need to get across the 45 to about the 44 for another first down. Hand up in the backfield this time to D'Onofrio. D'Onofrio splurges up inside, a short pickup of about 3 that time on the carry. So to bring up now third down and about 2 for another first down for Steubenville Catholic Central. Looks as if D'Onofrio a little shaken up after that play.
One of the weapons for Steubenville Catholic Central, Robbie Bodo, out of action in this football game today. The wide receiver defensive back with 2 torn ACLs in both legs. I asked him how long he's going to be out. He said 9 months, so that's not a good sign there.
So now comes up a 3rd and 2 situation for the Crusaders. Full house backfield. Handoff to Bracone. Pushes up inside, and on the second effort, Gino, I think he got it. Looked as if he was going to be stopped at about the 45, but he actually gets across the 45, and he does have another Crusader first down.
Showing some belly button there, Josh Bracone, and those type of plays make Greg Bain very, very happy. Of course, Coach Greg Bain very intense on those sidelines, but he got to love an effort like that from Josh Bracone.
So first down and 10 for the Crusaders on the 43-yard line as they continue their drive here in the second quarter of play. We're under 10 minutes left to go here before half. 9:40. Claus rolls out to the other side, keeps it, and gets across the 40-yard line. He went to the far side that time, and I don't know, Gino, if that's a play they have in their book or not, but it looks as if it's a busted play when Claus goes to the other side, and the backs and the entire offensive line comes to the near side.
The old misdirection, the boot on Benji Claus, and he's one of those quarterbacks. Jose Davis this year for Bellaire is starting to run the football a lot more, but when it comes to running the football, Benji Claus is one of the better ones when it comes to quarterbacks running the football.
So second down now and about 4 after the 6-yard pickup there on first down. Claus this time will hand it off in the backfield to Bracone. Bracone will get across the 35 and to the 34. He'll be short of a first down. It'll be 3rd and about 1.5 for another first down for the Crusaders. A pickup of about 3 that time on the carry by Bracone.
A huge play coming up here for that Bellaire defense, but I think it's once again going to be 2-down territory. Benji Claus is the place kicker for Steubenville Catholic Central, and he's probably one of the better foots in the valley. But I think this is 2-down territory here.
As it was for Bellaire when they were down this deep. So 3rd and short this time for the Crusaders, about 1.5 yards. They'll give it to Bracone again. Hits the middle of that defensive wall for the Bellaire Big Reds, and I don't think he got the first down. Maybe a pickup of about 1, if that, on the carry. It's going to be 4th and about 0.5 yard.
Jason Myers, the junior defensive tackle, making the stop, among others, on that play, but he is short. And as we expected, we expect these guys to go for it on 4th down. They're sending in D'Onofrio right now with the play.
Bring out Serafini, and D'Onofrio comes back in for the 4th and short situation. 4th and less than a yard this time for the Crusaders, just across the 35. Claus, the handoff in the backfield, gives it to D'Onofrio, and on second effort, Mike D'Onofrio gets the first down.
Great second effort. And Rich Mamie's about to kick himself down there. Rich Mamie had him stuck in the backfield for a loss, but D'Onofrio, great second effort, great belly button. He springs ahead. He picked up about 2 yards, 3 yards in the play, and what an effort by D'Onofrio. I know Rich Mamie right now is just on fire. He had him in the backfield for a loss.
First down and 10 now for the Crusaders at about the 33-yard line. They'll split Connor to the near side along with Sean Hughes. The eye set this time behind Benji Claus, D'Onofrio, and Bracone. Hughes goes in motion to the far side. There's a penalty flag on the play. They'll send the option to the near side, pitch it in the backfield to Bracone for a loss of 2, all the way back to the 35. Let's see what the yellow hanky's all about.
Yeah, look who made the tackle, Rich Mamie.
And the official right now is talking to quarterback Benji Claus.
Let's get the official announcement here from the official.
I think Benji was just asking for an explanation of what exactly the penalty was.
Couple of guys in motion, I do believe, Scott. If you looked at that last pitch by Benji, not a very good one.
So they'll decline the penalty, will the Big Reds, and they'll take the 2-yard loss and also the loss of the down that time for the Crusaders. So moving back to the 35 now, give them 2nd and 12 with 7:20 left to go here before halftime. No score yet from Nelson Field in our News Channel 7 Sports Special. A great contest so far. Glad you've joined us. I'm Scott Nolte, Gino Startar. We have Pat Clutter on the sideline. We'll try to get to him in just a few minutes. We'll throw it out to the tight end, Chinachibe. He's got open real estate in front of him across the 30, down near to the 25 to about the 26. That's the first time we've seen him throw to the tight end this afternoon. And Achibe, he is your definition of a tight end. Look at that kid.
He's the kind of guy you want on your football team. Of course, he's a great wrestler, a standout wrestler.
Yes.
And we haven't heard too much about him as of late. But right there, a big play there. Picks up about, I don't know.
Close to 7 yards. It'll be a third down and about 3. All the way down to the 26-yard line. They need to get to about the 23 for another Steubenville Central first down. Connor will go to the far side. Hughes to the near side. They'll split the backs again in the backfield with D'Onofrio and also Bracone. Claus, the handoff to Bracone. A huge hole, and he's going to go in for a Steubenville Central touchdown. 26 yards on the carry that time by Josh Bracone, and the Crusaders strike first.
Wow, what a great move inside the hole. He cut it outside to the right, straight up the gut. 26 yards for Mr. Bracone, and wow, if you can hear in the background, we're sitting with a lot of Steubenville Central fans, and they're
right
on fire right now. Big time run there by Josh Bracone.
6:18 left to go here in the second quarter of play. The Crusaders get on the board first, and they'll try the extra point after touchdown try. Claus, the kicker, Hughes is his holder. The snap, the hold is down, the kick is up. We have a penalty flag. We don't get a ruling on the officials as to whether or not it actually went through the uprights, but we have a penalty flag.
It did miss right, Scott. So I think the penalty is going to be on Bellaire, and yes, it is. You won't see Benji Claus miss too many extra points.
Now, that one did go wide right, as you said.
They call that a kick on the house. This will move the ball a little closer. Let's see.
So you got to think about whether or not they're going to go for 2 now.
Benji's still out there. Of course, he'd be out there if they were going for 2. Let's see where they mark.
He's still lining up for a kick, though. It looks as if the way he's marking off his steps right now. I think that's what they're going to do. They're just going to play it safe and get the single point.
Well, it's usually automatic with Benji. That's why I think he's going for the sure bet here. And who are we to second-guess Greg Bain, one of the best coaches in the Valley?
A state championship coach.
That's right.
This time it is blocked, and it hits the crossbar. Wow. Blocked at the line of scrimmage, hits the crossbar, and backs back.
I hate to say it, but I think I might have jinxed Benji.
I don't know, Gino. There's your score right now, folks. 6-0 in favor of the Bellaire Big Reds. 6:18 left to go, second quarter. I'll be back with more of our News Channel 7 Sports Special right after this.
Cervelli Motors makes it.
Welcome back, everybody, to Nelson Field in Bellaire. Scott Nolte and Gino Startari, along with Pat Clutter down on the sideline. 6:18 left to go here before the end of the first half. And the Steubenville Central Catholic Crusaders have taken the early lead Now 6-0 over the Bellaire Big Reds. The point after touchdown try was blocked that time and then actually hit the crossbar and bounced back. But what a run that time, Gino, by Josh Bracone. 26 yards right up the gut.
Yeah, you got to like it. A couple key plays on that drive. It was Bracone getting up, pick up the first down.
Yes.
Rich Mamie had him stopped in the backfield, but he was able to slither through the defense, pick up the first down, so circle that play, and also circle the 26-yard touchdown run by Bracone. So a couple of key plays in that drive, but I don't know. I think Greg Bain's a little upset right now by not converting the extra point, so a touchdown can get Bellaire ahead in this game if they convert.
So the Crusaders will be kicking off. Claus will be doing the kicking. Bellaire back deep to receive. Art Piat and also Keith Pitch is deep back there to receive. Claus with the kick. High end over end kick that'll come down to Pitts at his own 10. He's across the 15, the 20. Gets a wall of blockers in front of him across the 30 and up to about the 31-yard line where he's finally brought down. So first down at 10 now for Bellaire. They'll start on their own 31-yard line.
Jason Yanni with the stop on that play on the kickoff. And I think if he had broken past Jason Yanni, he had a lot of sideline on the left sideline.
First down at 10 now for Bellaire. They'll start at their own 31. Jose Davis, the quarterback. Casey Coyne and Scott Pitch line up in the eye behind him. They'll give the handoff this time to Pitch. On the delays across the 40 and up to the 45 where his forward progress is stopped. A pickup that time of about 13 yards on the carry for Scotty Pitch.
I think we have Pat Clutter standing by on the Steubenville Central sideline. Take it away, Pat.
The electricity and atmosphere is awesome here on the sideline. Some of the early mistakes alluded to that. And Coach Bain called his team over in his offensive line and talked to them about opening up holes, and they did that on the last drive and were very successful in getting it into the end zone. Coach Bain is very, very adamant about opening up the holes on the line, and he did that in the drive, and he's still beating on his people to do that, and it was very successful. We're going to talk to some of the injured players and look at what's going on in this contest as we progress. So thanks a lot, guys. We'll be back up with you later.
All righty, Pat, thanks a lot. And you saw right there, folks, another big run that time by, yes, Scotty Pitts. And they have a penalty flag against the Crusaders. So it's going to be more yardage now for Bellaire.
See what the official call is. Face mask.
And this is the big one, Gino.
Yeah.
Flagrant, 15 yards. You heard Pat Clutter talk about the intensity between each one of these teams, and I think he alluded to a good point there by saying the early mistakes could probably be attributed to the way these two teams were so keyed coming into a huge contest like this.
Well, it's always huge, especially when you have two state-ranked football teams. It makes the game even bigger.
So first down and 10 after that big run by Pitch, and then the big penalty against the Crusaders. Casey Coyne will take it for a pickup of about 2 on the carry. Second down now and 8, up to about the 32.
We talked about the great weather, of course, our earlier game this year, Brook and Capital, in the monsoon, the rain. I can guarantee one person is very happy it's not raining. That's Pat Clutter, who took a lot of raindrops in the face that day. But great sunny skies here today, and what an atmosphere.
You know what? He looks better without the poncho, too.
Yeah.
So second down now and 8 for the Big Reds. I set. The handoff again to Pitch. 2 blockers in front of him. Couple of nice moves by Pitch. He's across the 20, down to the 15, across that, down near the 10-yard line. Wow. Another big run that time by Scott Pitch, and Gino, he just continues to amaze with the moves he has in the backfield.
22 big yards, and they're inside the red zone now. They're inside the 20. In fact, they took it to the 10-yard line. Scotty Pitts, we like always say on the Sports Blitz all the time, he shows you more moves than May West. He just does a lot of juke, and he has great vision, Scott Nody. And that, which, as we said earlier, it makes great backs because of their great vision. He doesn't give the defensive player an area to tackle him.
No.
He just makes all kind of moves.
So the Big Reds down first and 10 on the 10. I set. They'll give it to Casey Coyne up inside. He'll churn ahead for a pickup of maybe a yard or 2 on the carry that time, a short gain. He'll bring up second down now for Bellaire.
These two running backs complement each other so well. Casey Coyne's your blue-collar back, the tough yardage back, and then you have Scotty Pitts, the flashy star. So two great complementing running backs in Scotty Pitts and Casey Coyne.
They'll give him a pickup of about 1 on the carry that time. They'll take it down to the 9. And it'll be second down now for Bellaire. Clock continuing to turn. We're underneath 4 minutes to go here before the half at 3:50.
We saw the Bellaire defense suck it up in this short yardage situation, and now it's time for Steubenville Central. Greg Bain needs a big defensive effort out of his boys right now.
I set. They'll give the handoff this time in the backfield to Rich Mamie, I believe, on the carry that time. And it was Mamie, down to about near the goal line, actually, down to about the 1-yard line. It's going to be near a first down.
We talk about Casey Coyne and we talk about Scotty Pips, and here Coach Magistro slips in Rich Mamie.
Threw that one in on me. And he's near the goal line and also near a first down. It could be first and goal for the Big Reds. Let's wait and see when they stretch the change out here how close he is.
A little short.
Yeah, just short that time, Gino. But it's only going to be third down now for the Big Reds, and they can either obviously just punch it into the end zone, or if they just get a slight gain of maybe less than a half a foot, about 6 inches, they're going to have enough for a first down. So here we go, 3rd and less than 1 for a first down, 3rd and about 1 for a touchdown. 3.5 minutes to go before the half. The Crusaders leading 6-0 over the Crusaders. Davis, the inside handoff, that time to Pitts, and he didn't get into the end zone, but he may have enough for a first down.
Looks like D'Onofrio leading the charge out there. They will measure.
Not in the end zone, and I think the official signaled 4th down. He didn't even get enough for a first down.
No, he did not.
So it's 4th and goal.
Great surge there by the Crusader defense.
Actually 4th and less than 1, but 4th and goal for a touchdown. And Bellaire is going to take a timeout. So with the Big Reds facing a 4th down situation, Steubenville Catholic Central leading 6-0, less than 3 minutes to go before the half. Let's take a break here on our News Channel 7 Sports Special. Welcome back, everybody, to Nelson Field in Bellaire. Scott Nolte and Gino Startari, glad you could join us. 2 minutes and 54 seconds left to go here before the end of the first half. Bellaire right now faced with a 4th and short situation for a first down, and also a 4th and basically goal situation for a touchdown.
This is what football's all about right here.
Right
4th and 1 on the goal line.
This is where they grind them out. Bellaire, 4th and short. Davis, the long count, the handoff to Pitts. And we'll have to see if he got enough for a first down. He obviously didn't get the touchdown. No call from the officials as of yet. And the official wants to take time out. They're going to have to measure. So we'll see after the spot here whether or not they are close enough for a first down or whether or not they picked it up. They gave the ball to Pitts that time. He tried to bust it up inside. But the Crusader defense hanging tough.
Look at Benji Claus trying to find out this spot.
And he didn't get it.
Oh,
wow. First down for Steubenville Catholic Central. What a big defensive stand, Gino Startari, by the Crusader defense.
What do they say all the time? Defense wins games? I don't know. And also wins championships. And Benji Claus and crew down there in the field. What a gut check there for Steubenville Central. We've seen both defenses in this football game inside the red zone playing terrific football.
So the Crusaders now will have to start deep in their own end, basically on their own goal line. First down and 10 on the 1. 2 minutes and 35 seconds to go before the half. The Crusaders already leading 6-0. The handoff in the backfield to D'Onofrio. D'Onofrio getting big yardage for the Crusaders. He'll have a first down across the 10-yard line out to the 11. So just like that, they're off their own doorstep and out to the 11-yard line.
And that takes the pressure off. It is a first down. He did 10. He picked up 11. But more importantly, gets them out of the hole.
Yep. So first down and 10 now for the Crusaders, and a little bit of breathing room for Benji Claus in his backfield. Chibe will come out of the lineup right now. They'll bring in another tight end. This is Danny Lewis, who'll come in to replace Chibe. So first and 10 for the Crusaders. Ball on their own 11-yard line. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to go here before the end of the first half. Split backfield behind Claus with Bracone and D'Onofrio. The handoff up inside that time was actually given to Greg Serafini on the carry. I believe it was Serafini. And Serafini picks up short yardage.
You have to think that Greg Bain and crew are going to pretty much run this try to get a first down or two and try to run the clock out. They're going to be happy to go to the locker room with a 6-0 lead.
We're under 2 minutes before the end of the half. 150. Connor to the near side. They'll send Hughes to the far side. I set with D'Onofrio and Bracone. Claus on the 3-step drop. He'll tuck it and run with it. And he's run down that time before he could actually pick up any decent yards. Rich Mamie on the tackle.
You won't find too many better linebackers in the Valley than Rich Mamie. I mean, the kid led the team last year for Bellaire in tackles as a sophomore. He's just a junior this year. And as we said, Coach John Magistro calls him one of the best linebackers he has ever coached. And what's that tell you? And
that tackle there also saved Bellaire from giving up another first down. It brings up a 3rd and short situation. 3rd down and 2 now for the Crusaders. They'll go with the split backs once again. D'Onofrio and Bracone in the backfield. Claus this time will give it to D'Onofrio. He trips as he comes across the line of the scrimmage, and he should have enough for a first down. As he's up to about the 22-yard line. That's about what they needed, and yes, they have another first down. D'Onofrio picking up another first down for the Crusaders, and when they need good yardage, they give it to Mike D'Onofrio out of the backfield.
He needed 2, he picked up 3, and looked for the Crusaders to run this clock out.
Under a minute, 55 seconds before the half. Twins to the far side with Connor and Hughes. Split backfield. Claus is going to roll out to the near far side, looking downfield. Pass intended that time for Dave Connor, well overthrown and out of bounds.
Like I said, they're going to run the clock out. They throw there on first down. So who knows? Greg Bain maybe looking to
try and catch the Bellaire defense maybe off a little bit and maybe pick up a score before the end of the half. So 47 seconds still remaining on the clock here before the end of the first half. The Crusaders leading 6-0 over Bellaire. Faced with a 2nd and 10 situation after that incomplete pass. They'll send Twins to the far side again. This time, Claus is going to look downfield once again. Going at time, intended for Bracone, almost intercepted that time by Bobby Timberlake. Bracone, luckily for the Crusaders, ran into Timberlake as he got his hands on it.
Yeah, Bobby, Roth, and Timberlake both there, and the ball was deflected, and that could have been a huge mistake there for Steubenville Catholic Central.
Especially with only 41 seconds left to go before the end of the half. And you got a lead right now of 6-0. You don't want to give the ball back to Bellaire and give them an opportunity to try and put some points on the board before the halftime is here. They'll send a wide out to the near side. That's Connor. Hughes to the far side. The eye set with D'Onofrio and Bracone in the backfield. Looked as if they're going to throw it again, but on the draw, Benji Claus keeps it. Sheds a tackler across the 35, across the 40, gets out of bounds at the 43. Still 32 seconds to go, and they got a first down. Nice run that time.
Well, yeah, he ran right through Rich Mamie. And what's that tell you? Rich Mamie, a great linebacker. Benji Claus showing that he was better on that occasion anyway, but he ran right through Rich Mamie. I'm telling you, Benji Claus is a 3rd running back back there. The old quarterback draw, you'll see that a lot today.
And if you look at him, Gino, this is something I've always noticed, and I have noticed it in the past. Watch how low Benji Claus gets when he comes up to the line of scrimmage. Watch, folks, on this play, how low to the ground Benji Claus actually gets when he gets underneath center. He's so low that the defense really can't even see where he's at. He's dropping back this time, looking downfield across the middle, intended for Dave Connor, and that pass is incomplete. Looked as if it bounced just before it got to Connor that time. And so it'll stop the clock with 24 seconds left to go here before the end of the half and bring up 2nd down and 10. We can look at that play again here. Benji Claus on about the 5-yard drop. Here you see Claus coming back from center. The 5-yard drop going across the middle, intended that time. And on the replay, you can see that the short hop just in front of Dave Connor. Hughes in motion to the far side, back to live action. They're going to throw again. This time the screen out to Bracone. He had a couple of blockers in front of him, and Bracone across midfield down to the 45, out of bounds at about the 44. And still plenty of time, 14 seconds left to go. And Gino, you remarked earlier, the foot that Mr. Claus has, they get a little closer, they could be in his field goal range here.
And that's just what Greg Bain's trying to do. Everyone's saying, well, maybe, we're saying, I should say, up in the booth, maybe they should just sit on the football, but he has that great field goal kicker in Benji Claus.
It's that never say die attitude either, and that's what wins state championships, and that's why this guy's been successful.
They're going to try to get another 15, 20 yards closer, maybe on this play, and try to get Vingia a shot at that field goal post.
I set this time behind Claus. Wide out to the far side. Danny Lewis will join Connor on the far side. And that is the way the Claus is rolling out. Being pursued, though. He's going to throw downfield, and Dave Connor catches it on about the 10-yard line, makes a move on one man, gets back to the 12-yard line, and that's where the ball will be spotted with 2 seconds left to go in the half. And I don't know if we can look at that again on instant replay, but what a great move that time by Dave Connor to go up and get the ball, and what a great job by Benji Claus.
But what great possession receivers do, they come back to the football. As we see on the replay here, Benji Claus was in trouble. And look at the feet by Benji. Great quick feet. Dave Connor comes back to the football. And that's what made the play. They made a great move. I thought maybe the clock was going to run out on, but they saved 2 seconds, and that's plenty of time. They only need a second to get a field goal opportunity here, and that's what we'll see here.
Ball is spotted, Gino, on about the 12-yard line. So you add the 10 yards of the end zone. That makes it 22, then about the 7 steps back for Claus. So it's about a 29-yard field goal coming up here. Close probably to about 30 yards on the field goal try for Benji Claus, if they're going to go for the field goal.
We're not certain if they are going to go for 3. They might want to look to the end zone. Coach Greg Bain out there right now.
Yeah, so it looks as if maybe they're going to try and punch it in.
I'd look for another rollout with Benji Claus because he's such a great runner.
And you mentioned, too, Gino, what a good job by Claus. He was being pursued heavily by the Bellaire defense, but he stayed in the pocket and rolled out, and once he set his feet, he stayed there, then threw the ball. And like you said, Dave Connor saw his quarterback was in trouble, started to come back towards the ball. A great play all around that time by both the quarterback and the wide receiver.
They will go for it.
There you see Coach Bain coming off the field. You see the time also on your screen, folks, in the bottom corner. 2 seconds left to go. They're going to try a field goal. I guess maybe Coach Bain went out there to try and offset the Bellaire defense.
30-yard attempt.
30-yard attempt, basically right down the middle for Benji Claus. High snap, the hold is down, the kick is up, and it is good. And that brings the end of the first half, Gino Startari, and what a great drive by the Crusaders to close out the first half.
Hey, you talk about momentum in football games, and right now the momentum is on the side of Steubenville Central. What a great drive engineered there by Benji Claus. He showed a great arm, he showed great feet, and he's a great leader, and that's why right now Steubenville Central will take a 9-0 lead to that halftime locker room.
We are at halftime right now here. The Steubenville Central Catholic Crusaders leading the Bellaire Big Reds on homecoming here in Bellaire. Back with some first half thoughts and also look at each one of these schools' bands. We come back here in our News Channel 7 Sports Special.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm on the sidelines here at Nelson Field in Bellaire with a brand new homecoming queen, and Shanna Klempa. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Must be a great honor. You're not only the homecoming queen now, but senior class president. You just do so much at Bellaire. It must feel good.
Yes, feels real good.
How does it really feel with this electricity, this game, biggest game of the year, too, for the Big Reds, and you're here and you get this honor? It must feel pretty good to be that honored at the high school, to be that popular among the student body.
Yes, it's very. I'm just proud to be a Big Red.
Well, that's good. What are some of the other activities you do here at the school and in Bellaire?
Well, I have a part-time job. It's not at Bellaire. I'm a class president, and I'm on part of the tribunal. I'm a peer leader. I'm a counselor for this year. I'm just happy to be here.
Any college plans as of yet?
No, not yet.
Well, good luck and congratulations. Thank you very much. Dad, congratulations to you. I know you feel very proud also.
Yeah, very much so. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Shanna. Congratulations once again. I'm Pat Clutter on the sidelines. We'll talk to Coach John Magistro if we can catch him coming out of the locker room in just a few moments. And we'll be back with more reports from Nelson Field in Bellaire.
Welcome back, everybody, to Nelson Field in Bellaire. Scott Nolte and Gino Startari. We are at halftime right now. There you see your halftime score. Steubenville Central Catholic Crusaders leading the Bellaire Big Reds 9-0 right now. Almost time for the second half play. Let's go down to Pat Clutter, who has Bellaire head coach John Magistro.
Thanks a lot, guys. On the field with Coach John Magistro. Coach, you had a lot of tough decisions in the first half. You have to make some adjustments at halftime, trailing now. What kind of things did you tell your kids?
Well, basically, we had a good game plan going in. We're not going to get away from it. We've had our opportunity to score down here. We didn't do it. We should have held them down there. We let them drive the ball. We're not going to change one thing except play a little bit better football and get these guys ready to go.
You made some tough decisions in the first half, Coach, but I'll tell you what, it showed that you had a lot of faith in your team because you know you can do it.
we can do it. And all we got to do is believe in ourselves. And right now we press the panic button a little bit too much, and that's what we try to do. We try to instill confidence back in them at halftime.
Okay, Coach, congratulations. Thanks a lot. Back up to you guys in the booth. We'll have more reports from the halftime and the sidelines here throughout the second half of action. Scott and Gino, let's take it away.
All righty, Pat, thanks a lot. And you heard Coach Magistro say, yes, we do have a lot of faith in our club, and that's what you need out of a good head coach, and that's why he is such a great head coach here at Bellaire.
Yeah, John Magistro, a class act, and you can sense that he's a little bit perturbed with that last field goal. Giving up that field goal, the momentum. He had a chance to punch it in the end zone there late in the first half, in the second quarter. Steubenville Central rose to the occasion, and then to make matters worse, he gives up a field goal late in the game when we thought maybe Coach Greg Bain from Steubenville Central and his team would pounce on the football. But so really, it's a net effect of almost 10 points there. You don't get 7 and you give up 3, so the net effect there is 10, and that's not good news for Bellaire and Bellaire fans right there. You can tell that Coach Magistro is very upset. There's a lot of time in this football game, and they can get back into it.
Now, the scoring in the first half went in the favor, obviously, of the Steubenville Central Catholic Crusaders. With 6:18 left to go in the second quarter of play, was a 26-yard run by Josh Bracone. They got the Crusaders on the board first. The extra point try kick was blocked and then hit the upright and crossbar and bounced back. That made it 6-0. Then just before the end of the first half, as Gino was alluding to, the Crusaders on their final drive kicked a 30-yard field goal from the foot of Benji Claus with just 2 seconds left to give them the 9-0 lead, and that's where we stand at 9-0, getting ready to start the second half action.
Yeah, both these coaches, John Magistro and Greg Bain, they coach with a lot of emotion, especially Greg Bain.
Right.
He's just very enthusiastic. He reminds me of a lot of Bill Cowher. He's one of those guys. He's one of those guys that, he's in your face if you don't make the play, but then again, he's there cheering you on when you do make a great play. But he's got to be ecstatic right now at the position he's in. He's on the road, and he's leading 9-0. He stole the momentum there in the first half.
And he will also get the ball coming out here to start the second half. Bellaire opened the game receiving the kick.
That's a great point. In getting back to Bellaire, I really thought that they'd throw the ball a little more today. I'm not really sure the reason why they haven't. Jose Davis, a great quarterback, but we didn't really call his number too much. We did call Scotty Pitts, and Scotty Pitts ran the football great in that first half. But I'm interested to see if Coach John Magistro and crew are going to throw the ball a little more in the half number 2.
Yeah, that's what you were talking about. We did see a lot out of Scotty Pitts, and he was excellent. Some fantastic runs, but not really much of the passing attack out of the Bellaire Big Reds through most of the first half play.
They dropped a couple balls, too, in the first half.
All righty, Gino. Well, we're just about set for second half action. The Big Reds are lined up and set for the kickoff. The Crusaders finally taking their position here on the sideline.
Yeah, Bellaire's all ready to kick the football off. Mark Mason towing the football up at the 40-yard line, and Greg Bain had the extended halftime chat in the end zone with his bunch. So Steubenville Central a little behind here. They're finally making their way on the field. Here you see Mark Mason. This game features 2 great kickers. Benji Claus, I think, is probably the best kicker in the Valley. And you also have Nathan White down at Brook. But as far as kickoffs, Mark Mason is known to put the ball through the end zone. And we'll probably see another big kick out of him here. And he's a straight-on kicker. You don't see too many of those kickers anymore.
So Bracone and also Benji Claus will drop back deep to receive. Josh Bracone and Benji Claus drop back now for the Crusaders. And like Gino said, Mark Mason, the kicker here for the Big Reds, as we open up the second half of play with the Crusaders leading 9-0 over the Bellaire Big Reds. Glad you could join us this afternoon for our News Channel 7 Sports Special. Mason with the kick. A low kick that bounces and will come to Benji Claus at his own 10. He's across the 15, blockers in front of him, across the 25, the 30, and across the 35 and up to the 36. A nice return that time by Benji Claus.
Well, it was a nice return, Scott, not only because he has great vision. He reads his blocks. He waited for Mike D'Onofrio to throw the block. He read the block well. And a great return up across the 35 to the 36-yard line. That's great field position for the Crusaders here to start half number 2. And what a great game we've had so far.
Just the way I'm sure Coach Greg Bain wanted to start the second half of play in good field position. And they have that. First down and 10. Ball on their own 36. Split backfield, twins to the far side. Handoff inside to Bracone. And Josh doesn't get much that time on the carry. Pickup of about 1 on the carry that time. It'll bring up second down, and we'll call it 9.
Very, very impressed with the Crusader defense in half number 1. They really rose to the occasion.
Sure, especially on the goal line stand.
But not to be outdone, a great offensive effort to steal the momentum even more. I'm having trouble with that word momentum, but they did so, getting 3 more points in half number 1.
Second down now and 9. They'll give it to Bracone again out of the backfield. A wall of blockers in front of him. He's across the 45, puts his shoulder down and puts a hit there at the 50 and moves across midfield. It was Jeremiah Johnson he put the shoulder down into and moves it across midfield to the Big Reds 49.
Both of these big running backs in this football game, Josh Bracone for Steubenville Central and Scotty Pitts for Bellaire, they read their blockers well, and that's why they're picking up big yardage.
So another first down for the Crusaders. This, their opening drive and the opening drive of the second half. Split backfield now, and they give it to D'Onofrio. D'Onofrio moves ahead for another 4-yard pickup up to the 45-yard line, so it'll be second down now and 6.
Both these teams in the state rankings as far as Ohio playoffs are concerned. Of course, Bellaire is ranked number 6 in Division 3, Region 11. And coming into this game, Ohio Division 5, Steubenville Catholic Central is ranked number 3. So these are huge football games here today. Huge football game for both teams as far as playoff implications are concerned.
Split outs, 2 to the near side. And Claus will rotate out to the opposite side and takes a nasty hit as he moves across the 42 and down to near the 41. He'll still be about a yard or so short of the first down, closer to about 2 yards once they spot the ball. So it'll be third down now and about 2.
And boy, did Dusty Holt put a thumping on Benji Claus on that play. He actually knocked him forward for another yard.
So third down now and a long 2, close to 3 yards actually. They need to get across the 40, just near the 39-yard line for a first down.
Maybe an official's timeout right now. I'm not sure what the reason is. It might be an equipment check here.
I think so. It looks as if they're checking somebody's helmet in the Steubenville Central huddle. Now they've got everything worked out, and the official will blow us back into play. We're under 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. 9:55, 9-0 the score in favor of Steubenville Central. A key third down play here. 3rd and 3, the full house backfield. The give to Bracone. He's across the 40 to the 39. Should have enough for a Crusader first down. We'll wait on the official spot here.
Very
close. Make sure they give him. No, he's going to be short. They're only giving him the 40. I thought he was across the 40 to the 39. They'll only give him the 40-yard line. And he's going to be about a half-yard short of a first down.
Yeah, and the Crusader faithful in front of us. The Bluebirds are out here at Nelson Field. They didn't like the spot. And tell you the truth, I thought he crossed the 40, but they mark him at the 40.
So it'll bring up 4th and less than a yard, and 2-down territory once again for the Crusaders. They're going to go for it. Claus under center. He'll keep it himself and move forward. Not much doing inside, but he should, I say should, have enough for the first down.
He's going to be very close against.
And
how many times have we seen this today early in this football game already? A lot of measurements today, and this one's going to.
Yes, there it is.
Give it to him.
So Claus does get enough inside for the first down and keeps the Crusader drive alive. Already leading 9-0. Steubenville Catholic Central trying to add on to it here early in the third quarter. Their first drive here of the second half and the opening drive of the second half. They hand off to Bracone in the backfield. We've got a flag on the play. Bracone will be brought down for a loss.
Casey Coy made a great play there. We have a flag on the play.
Also David Petros in on the tackle that time too. There is a flag, and the Bellaire Big Reds defense is saying it's against Steubenville Catholic Central, and it is. Holding is the call. And that's a costly penalty, Gino, because you take it from the spot of the foul.
And they should push him back. Let's see where the mark will be.
So it'll be 10 yards from the actual spot of the foul. It'll move him back across the 50-yard line to about the 49. And that's first down in a bunch. First in about 22. Wow.
Greg Bain is livid on the sidelines. He does a lot of pacing down there. I'm sure he wears out about 3 pairs of shoes a year on the sidelines with all the walking he does. But what a great coach Greg Bain is.
We'll see what they elect to do here on 1st and 22 on their own 49. Eye set. Man in motion this time. Danny Lewis to the far side. They'll give the handoff in the backfield to Bracone, and he'll get 2 yards on the carry. He'll get back across midfield to the Bellaire 49, and that'll make it second down and 20.
I'll tell you what, Casey Coy made a superstar play there. Tony Cannella was trying to block him. Casey Coyne, with that low center of gravity, fought off the block and then tripped up the running back there. Great play there by Casey Coyne.
Underneath 8 minutes to go in the quarter, 7:50 here on a turning clock. Third quarter of play. The Crusaders on the opening drive of the second half leading 9-0. Second down and 20. Split backfield. Claus on the 5-step drop to the sideline to Dave Connor. Short gain that time of about 6 yards on the reception, down to about the 43. And so that'll bring up third down and 14. They need to get across the 30 to about the 29 for a first down.
They're about 4 or 5 yards away from the original line of scrimmage. I tell you what, every game I've ever watched Steubenville Central play, and every game I've seen Dave Connor play, I don't think I've ever seen him drop the football. What a great possession receiver he is.
They'll split Connor to the near side this time, send Lewis to the far side, and put a man in the slot also. Lone setback is D'Onofrio. He's going to go out into the flats.
Screen.
And Claus is setting up the screen to his tight end, Chinachibe, and whoa, what a great defensive play that time by Ben Taylor, coming up from his linebacker position.
I tell you what, Benny Taylor is, as we said before, only a sophomore, but he is putting a clinic on here today when it comes to tackling. He tackles these players by the leg. That's how you tackle guys. You tackle them low. Well, what a performance Benny Taylor's putting on as far as tackling today.
Not much gain that time, up to about the line of scrimmage again. 4th and long. And the Crusaders will be forced to punt. Benji Claus is the punter. It's a high spiral kick down to about the 10-yard line. That's where it's picked up by Bobby Timberlake. And Timberlake will come across up to near the 20-yard line before he's brought down. So it'll be first down and 10 for the Big Reds. Ball on their own 19-yard line for their first drive here in the second half. Let's take a break. The Crusaders leading 9-0 over the Bellaire Big Reds. More third quarter action coming up right after this on our News Channel 7 Sports Special. Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter action. Bellaire here on their first play of their opening drive of the second half. The pass that time intended for Bobby Timberlake, and he drops it.
And we talked about at halftime, we were interesting to see if John Magistral will come out throwing the football a little more with Jose Davis. Well, they do throw on first down, and Bobby Timberlake probably should have had that football. He comes out of the game right now, but we've seen a lot of drop passes over the last couple of weeks with this Bellaire football team.
Second down now for Bellaire. They hand off on the inside this time, and pickup of a few yards that time on the inside carry. It'll bring up third down now. Rich Mamie on the carry that time for Bellaire. Pat Clutter's down on the sideline roaming around for us this afternoon. Let's go down to Pat Clutter on the sideline.
Thanks a lot, guys. Standing here with Robbie Bodo. He's injured right now. He's a wide receiver to defensive back. Robbie, you're out for the season, I understand. It's got to be tough on the sideline in a big game like this, having to miss it.
It is, very big.
How long are you actually out for?
About 5 months.
Okay. Still rooting on your team, though, with a big lead here today against a tough Bellaire squad.
We're going to pull it out, I hope.
Okay, well, thanks a lot for being with us, and good luck in your future, okay?
Thank you.
Back to you guys for some more exciting football. This is Robbie Bodo with me on the sideline.
All righty, Pat, thanks a lot for that report. And on the third down play, another incomplete pass for the Bellaire Big Reds, and Gino, they're going to be forced to punt.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, when Jose Davis throws the football over top, he's a very tough quarterback. It looked like that time he threw a little sidearm. And when that ball's thrown sidearm, the ball sails on him. And right now, Bellaire's offense struggling.
So Taylor will punt. They'll drop Claus and Connor back. Will the Crusaders? A fantastic punt from Ben Taylor. Wow. Driving Dave Connor all the way back to his own 30-yard line. That was a heck of a punt that time off the foot of Ben Taylor. Put Steubenville Catholic Central back on their own 29.
50-yard punt. Wow. As I would always say, I like it.
Yes.
A big boot.
5 minutes, 39 seconds still left to play here, Gino. Third quarter. This quarter moving quickly so far. 9-0. The Crusaders leading the Bellaire Big Reds. And really, Bellaire's offense not looking very effective on that first drive here in the second half. 3 plays and out. First down and 10 now for the Crusaders. Split backfield behind Claus. They'll give the handoff inside, and Braccone's got a huge hole across the 40, across midfield, into Bellaire territory at the 45. A big run that time by Josh Braccone. A pickup of 25 yards on the carry.
Well, they actually mark it as a 26-yard run, and if my memory's correct, It was the same play he ran on the touchdown
You're
run,
right.
and guess how long that touchdown was? 26 yards. The same exact play for the same exact yardage. He just busted right up the gut.
So I guess if you need 26 yards, you know which play to use.
Call number 25.
That's your 26-yard play, I guess. High set this time for the Crusaders. Handoff in the backfield this time to Jason Gary, and Gary turns it into high gear and gets across the 35 and down to the 34. That's another Steubenville Central first down. Gino, they're coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah, it's just plain and simple that the Steubenville Central Crusader line is just blowing off the football. They are blowing away that defensive front for Bellaire. And it seems like right now they're hungry in this football game, and they want this game very badly. They're trying to avenge last week's loss against Big Red.
First and 10 now for the Crusaders across the 35. Ball placed at the 34. They'll split Lewis out to the near side, Connor to the far side. Split backs behind Claus. Handoff this time goes to Bracone, and the Big Red defense all over him that time.
Dusty Holt must have heard the comment I made. Dusty Holt, the big mainstay on that defensive line. Great play there.
So no gain that time on the carry by Bracone. It'll bring up now second down and 10. The Big Reds, they need to tighten it up defensively. 4.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. They'll send Hughes to the far side and split Connor to the near side. I set Bracone and Geary in the backfield. And Claus is going to roll out. Two blockers in front of him. He's across the 20. One man to beat to the end zone. Touchdown, Benji Claus. 34 yards on the run. And just like that, Steubenville Catholic Central puts another one on the board. 34-yard touchdown run that time by Benji Claus.
Well, what haven't we said about Benji Claus that hasn't already been said already? What a great player. He's such a great leader of this football team. 34-yard scamper. We've been saying it all game. He's a third running back back there.
And you saw that time they got Bracone and Geary out in front of him. They both laid down a couple of key blocks to spring him, and he was off to the races, 34 yards. The point after touchdown try, the kick is up, and it's no good. Missed wide right again. So it makes it 15-0 in favor of the Crusaders. 4:14 left to go here in the third quarter of play. Let's take a break. Back with more third quarter action right after this on our News Channel 7 Sports Special. Welcome back, everybody, to Nelson Field in Bellaire. 15-0 the score right now in favor of the Steubenville Catholic Central Crusaders. Benji Claus coming up big again for Steubenville Catholic Central on that last drive.
Yeah, very impressive, Benji Claus. And we talked about the Ohio rankings and the playoff rankings. Steubenville Catholic comes into this game ranked number 3, Division 5, Region 17, where Bellaire comes in number 6. Steubenville Catholic dropped from number 1 to number 3 with their loss, so being number 6 with Bellaire in Division 3, a loss would really hurt them right now. As we said, the top 4 teams make it in Ohio.
Kickoff here comes down to Rich Mamie. He's across his own 30, up across the 35, and brought down to the 36. A nice return that time on a short kick by Steubenville Catholic Central. So the Big Reds will have decent field position here to start out this drive, trailing by 15 points.
And maybe really on that kickoff return, really protecting that football, the old two-hander on the pigskin.
So first down and 10 for Jose Davis and his offense on his own 36-yard line. Trailing by 15 points. And the Bellaire offense needing really to try and get the whole thing rolling here to put some points on the board. They'll send Mason to the far side. Timberlake is split to the near side. Davis on a 5-step drop across the middle. Splits the needle nicely that time. Gets it to Dusty Kinder. Kinder gets across midfield up to the 47. A nice pinpoint pass that time by Jose Davis.
Just threaded the needle, as you said. Dusty Kinder dropped the football earlier in the game for an interception. He held on to that one. He made no mistake about that one. Interesting, Scotty Pitts is on the sideline right now for Bellaire. Scotty Pitts is out of this football game. We got to find out with Pat Clutter what the problem is with Scotty Pitts. He's on the sideline. I don't know if it's an injury or what, but right now it's Rich Mamie and Casey Coyne in the backfield.
High set this time. Davis fakes the handoff, rolling out, trying to look downfield. Got a man down there, intended for Mark Mason. He got turned around right at the last second. It was Sean Hughes on the coverage that time. And we have the replay here. We can take a look at it real quick.
No, we don't have the replay, but it looked like they're calling incidental contact on the play.
Jose Davis was knocked down on the sideline. He's a little slow in getting up. Has his helmet off right now as he's walking back towards midfield.
Well, the training crew out there, I don't know if they took a time. He ought to come out for a play.
Well, Pat Clutter's making his way over to the Bellaire sideline right now as we speak to try and find out if he can get the word on what is wrong with Scotty Pitts.
I think they might have called a late hit on the play. Jose Davis comes out of the football game. I don't expect him to be out of the game very long, but I do believe the initial
called a personal
call.
foul that time against the Crusaders, which is a pickup of 15 yards.
I do believe Benny Taylor will come in to run the offense. The
And
sophomore Benny Taylor will take over at least for a play or so.
So it's first down and 10 now for the Big Reds across the 35, ball on about the 33. Ben Taylor in at quarterback. Casey Coyne and Rich Mamie in the backfield. He'll fake the handoff to Mamie, rolling out, looking downfield, got his man open, down to the 15-yard line. Pass that time to Rich Mamie.
How about John Magistro throwing in a sophomore quarterback, Benny Taylor? You'd think he's just going to run the football.
With Bobby Roth on the reception that time, Gino. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No problem. Here's the replay. Benny Taylor, a sophomore backup quarterback, and he gets to go to the air, and he finds Roth. You think they might run the football? They pass the football. Great call by John Magistro.
Catching the Steubenville Catholic Central defense off that time. And Davis now in. They'll get the handoff to Mamie and touchdown. Wow. Rich Mamie just absolutely exploded that time into the end zone. 15 yards on the carry, and just like that, Bellaire is right back on the board and right back in this ball game.
And no, it wasn't Jose Davis, and no, it wasn't Scotty Pitts. It was Benny Taylor getting the pass to Bobby Roth, and then it was Rich Mamie, their mainstay on defense, picking up the 15-yard touchdown. And I do believe this is a team sport, and the Bellaire Big Reds showing it right there, and they will go for two, it looks like here, Scott.
They're lining up to go for two. Davis at quarterback. He'll roll out to his right, looking into the end zone, looking. He's going to be brought down, though, in the backfield that time by Dave Tuttle. Dave Tuttle that time hauls down Jose Davis, so the two-point conversion is thwarted, no good. And the Crusaders still lead now by 9, 15-6 with 3 minutes left to go here in the third quarter of play. Back with the rest of the third quarter coming up right after this on our News Channel 7 Sports Special. Welcome back, everybody, to Nelson Field in Bellaire. Our Pat Clutter roaming the sidelines right now, and we're trying to find out what was wrong with Scotty Pitts. Let's go down to Pat Clutter, who's over on the Bellaire Big Red sideline right now.
Thanks a lot, Scott and Gino. I just talked to Scotty Pitts on the sidelines. He has an injured right ankle. It is bothering him very severely right now. He had a small injury before the game started, but he re-injured it during the last series of downs and was thus taken out of the contest. However, Bellaire has the momentum back right now with some young guys in the lineup doing their thing and doing their job, and they're really fired up over here on the sidelines right now. Pitts is rooting them on, but says he doesn't know for sure if he'll be allowed back in the contest.
Pat, if you can hear me, is Scotty Pitts expected to return in this football game today?
Right now, he doesn't know for sure if he's going to return. He says it's not that bad, but it is hurting him right now.
Okay, thanks, Pat. Thanks for that update.
Yeah, great update there from Pat Clutter. Right in on the action on the sideline. And this Bellaire crowd is fired up. The kickoff here, and Mason boots it all the way into the end zone, and penalty flags are flying. Benji Claus was going to return it, but then they blew the play dead, and we got penalty flags on the field. So let's see what the call is here from the officials. May have an offside call or something against Bellaire there on the kick. I'm not really sure. That's just speculating. Officials right now, you see, having a conference.
Little powwow.
On about the 17-yard line. Here comes the official. He's going to talk with Coach Bain.
Coach Bain out in the field.
Want to know what the problem is. Doesn't look too happy with the whole situation. Now he's going to go over and talk to Coach Magistro. So the ref making the rounds of the coaches right now.
Yeah, Scott, getting back to the score here, 15-6. What makes that two-point conversion failure so big is now that Bellaire needs 2 scores to go ahead in this football game, whether that be 2 touchdowns or a touchdown and a field goal.
Oh,
they trail now by 9.
And they're going to wave the flag off. That's huge, Gino, because Benji Claus was going to bring the ball out of the end zone. They're going to give him the ball now on the 20, wave the flag off. There's no penalty. Steubenville Catholic Central starts on the 20. To me, it looked as if Claus was bringing the ball out of the end zone, and who knows? I mean, you never know what could have happened.
Yeah.
Well, whatever the case, it's first down and 10 now for Steubenville Catholic Central on their own 20-yard line. Under 3 minutes, 2:57 to go in the third quarter. Claus will keep it on his own, come around the near side, gets across the 20, only a gain of 1 that time for the Crusader QB.
A trio of 7s. Dusty Holt, number 7-7, 2 7s there, and Keith Pitts, number 7, making the stop there. Dusty Holt just came down from his defensive tackle position down toward the left end, the outside, and made the tackle. Great play there by Dusty Holt. He has some quick feet for a big fella.
Crusaders now second down and 9, ball on the 21. Connor split to the near side. They've got Hughes to the far side. I set in the backfield. Handoff this time to Bracone, and not much doing there for him either. Pickup of maybe 2 that time. He'll take it up to about the 23, and it's going to be 3rd and long. 3rd and 7 now for the Crusaders on their own 23-yard line.
You always talk about momentum in big football games. Steubenville Catholic Central stole that momentum going into the halftime locker room. And right here now, late third quarter, the Bellaire Big Reds have just taken it back.
Less than 2 minutes to go on the third quarter of play. 15-6 our score in favor of the Crusaders. Steubenville Catholic Central. Bracone and Geary in the backfield. Now for Steubenville Catholic Central. Claus looking downfield for receiver. Picked off by Bobby Roth. He's got blockers in front of him. And Roth is inside the 5, down to the 4-yard line.
Oh, boy. Huge.
Bobby Roth, a huge defensive play for Steubenville Catholic Central.
And Bobby Roth knew exactly what to do with that football as soon as he caught it. He picked it off at the Crusader 30-yard line, and he takes it all the way. It looks like they're going to mark the football inside the 5, I do believe, Scott, around the 5-yard line. So he returned to 25 big yards. What a big play there by Bobby Roth.
Just inside the 5, ball placed on the 4-yard line. 1st and goal for the Big Reds. Jose Davis in. I set, Coyne, and also Mamie. They'll give it to Mamie. Spins off a couple of tacklers. And he's down to near the goal line at about the 1. He stretched out just at the last second there. I thought he might have broken the plane, but the officials say no. It's going to be 2nd goal, ball on the 1. And wow, the electricity, Gino, here in Nelson Field is at a high point right now.
I can truthfully tell you that Rich Mamie had his Wheaties today. Bobby Roth had the big catch on the touchdown drive, now the big interception.
Yes.
Rich Mamie had the touchdown run, and he almost scored another one.
2nd and goal now. I set. They'll give it to Mamie again. Wow. Ooh. Runs into a wall there. Chinachibe, one of the men on the tackle for the Crusaders. Also big number 56. John Jasper in there also to help bring down Rich Mamie.
Yeah, I think it was Tony Cannella as well, number 66. We saw in the first half, they stopped them in the goal line defense. It's suck it up time right now for that Crusader defense.
Less than 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter. This probably will be the last play before the end of the third. 15-6 your score. 3rd and goal. Ball on the 2. I set with Coyne and Mamie. The option. They'll give it to Mamie.
Oh!
And he gets to the 1 again. Almost into the end zone, but he was halted just at the doorstep. Claus in on the tackle. Also that time, Dave Heck in on the tackle too for Steubenville Catholic Central. That brings up a 4th and goal situation. Ball at the 1. And that is the end of the third quarter of play. 15-6, the Crusaders leading the Bellaire Big Reds. But Bellaire is right on the doorstep of the 4th and goal situation. We'll have that for you, plus the 4th quarter when we come back right after this on our News Channel 7 Sports Special. Welcome back, everybody, to Nelson Field in Bellaire. 4th and goal situation is what we have right now for the Bellaire Big Reds as we get set to start the 4th quarter of play. 15-6. Steubenville Catholic Central leading Bellaire right now, but Gino, the Big Reds are on the doorstep.
Little deja vu here. Steubenville Central found themselves late in the second quarter in the same position. They rose to the occasion on 4th and 1. And by looking at the scoreboard again, I see another 4th and 1. And I tell you what, Scott, watching this football game, I'm getting goosebumps. You got to really respect the talents of these young kids today on this great Saturday afternoon. And with the Steelers and the Browns off today, as we always said all week, this is the only game in town, and we're not missing much.
No.
High school football at its best.
Exactly.
Steubenville Central and Bellaire, two of the top-notch football programs in the Valley, maybe the state of Ohio, and they're putting on a dandy here today at Nelson Field.
And they've got this crowd in an uproar right now, both sides of the stadium. Fans on their feet, and the intensity here, very exciting. So 4th and goal for Bellaire. On the 1-yard line, trailing 15-6. Steubenville Catholic Central trying to keep them out. Pass to the end zone. Touchdown, Bellaire. Bobby Timberlake from Jose Davis. Timberlake open in the end zone, wide open in the end zone that time, and Davis finds him.
Let me tell you what happened, Scott Nolte, on the replay here. Bobby Timberlake is all by himself. There was nobody over there to cover him. And I think you could have caught that pass, Scott
I think
Nolte.
you're right.
But it was just a defensive lapse on the part of the Crusaders. They left Bobby Timberlake all alone. He was split far left, and there was nobody on him. It was an easy 6 points for Bellaire.
He was wide open that time. I think the Crusaders were so bunched up inside that they weren't even expecting that. Mark Mason, the point after touchdown try is no good. Misses it wide right. So it leaves it at a 3-point lead now for the Crusaders. And how big is that field goal at the end of the first half looking right now?
Well, it is big, and it is very huge. And I'm very surprised at the extra point kicking here today. Vingia Klaus and Mark Mason, two of the better kickers in the Valley, and we've had a lot of missed opportunities here, and because of that, it's making this game even more exciting. It's a 3-point game, 15-12.
And the
Crusaders lead this football game right now.
The ironic thing, Gino, they ran a play here to begin the 4th quarter. No time is run off the clock. It still is set at 12 minutes to play. 15-12 your score, and the clock in the end zone still has 12 minutes to play here for the 4th quarter. That play there had to take at least 7 or 10 seconds, I would have to guess. But they still have it at 12 minutes.
They might be having trouble with the clock right now, but I'm sure the officials on the field keep that is the official time is on the field, the clock on the field. So we'll see if we're having trouble with the Nelson Field clock right now. But obviously, it's still a lot of time in this football game.
So Mark Mason's going to tee it up here to kick the ball off back over to the Steubenville Central Crusaders. Crusaders will drop Claus and also Josh Bracone back deep to receive. Crusaders still nursing that 3-point lead now over Bellaire, 15-12. Mason the kick, low wobbly kick that bounces at about the 10-yard line, comes to Claus, blockers in front of him. He's across the 25, gets out at the 30-yard line, and that's where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Steubenville Central Crusaders. Pat Clutter's down on the sideline right now, and Pat, on that last drive for the Bellaire Big Reds, they really put it together and finally punched one in the end zone.
Well, Scott, part of that's momentum, part of that's good offensive play calling on the part of the Bellaire coaching staff. That final play really had Steubenville Central fooled. The receiver just stepped out 2 feet wider than usual. The defensive back didn't even see him there. Just a simple toss over the line of scrimmage for the touchdown. A great call, and Bellaire's right back in the ball game. Field goal very important, and that extra point kicking has been very important right now with a 3-point lead on Steubenville Central.
All righty, Pat, thanks a lot for that update on the sideline. Just about set for the Crusaders to take back over here, leading by 3. Like Pat said, the not only the field goal, but also the extra point tries here have not gone very well for either one of these teams.
No, but that's one of the few down spots about this football game. What a football game we have here. And Bobby Roth really setting up the touchdown drive there, coming up with the interception at the 30-yard line of Steubenville Central. And more importantly was the return. He returned it 25 yards to get him within the 5. So big play there by Bobby Roth to set up the touchdown by Bobby Timberlake.
And he's had a big afternoon, has Roth. He had a key reception on their first touchdown score. Run here by Josh Bracone, a big carry that time across the 40, up to the 41, and looks like he's got a first down for Steubenville Catholic Central.
You're seeing Ohio Valley football at its best right here. These guys playing with big hearts. As we say all the time at work, heart like a lion.
Yep.
Josh Bracone really running the football well. Coach Greg Bain's got to be impressed with Bracone today.
So 1st down and 10 now for the Crusaders. Ball on the 42-yard line. 3-point lead in favor of the Crusaders at 15-12. 11.5 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. I set behind Claus. They'll give it inside to D'Onofrio. And he'll move ahead for a pickup of maybe 2. It'll bring up 2nd down now and 8.
Tell you what, the Bellaire Big Reds have been involved in some tight games here over the last 3 weeks. Edison, the Wildcats of Edison, had them down by 2 touchdowns at halftime several weeks back. Last week, Cambridge had the lead on Bellaire. They had to fight and crawl back into that one. And now Steubenville Central leading by 3 points with 11 minutes and counting left in the football game. So Bellaire has really been having some tough goes here against some tough opponents at Nelson Field.
2nd down now for the Crusaders. The ball is tipped that time, and guess who? Rich Mamie in on it that time. Gets the hand on there. Also inside that time was Brian Seacrest, also in on the defense that time for the Big Reds. And have you noticed, Gino, that maybe the momentum is starting to turn a little bit to the other side?
Well, I think it's already shifted there. Rich Mamie's listed at 6 feet. That might be stretching it there, but I tell you what, he got up there, he fought off the block by Mike D'Onofrio, and he batted the pass down.
Looking like he was about 7 foot that time on the deflection. 3rd and long now for the Crusaders. Claus, the deep drop, looking downfield. He's going to tuck it and decide to run with it. He won't get far, though. Bobby Roth knocks him out of bounds at about the 47-yard line,
and Rich
it'll
Mamie
be
is
4th down.
Rich Mamie is down on the field. He's grabbing his right leg. It might be a calf, might be a cramp here, but Rich Mamie is down. It looks like one of his own players is trying to help him out. Here come the training staff from Bellaire. But Rich Mamie is down, and that's bad news for Bellaire.
There you see him on the sideline right now as the training staff comes over from the far sideline to work on him, and like Gino alluded to, looks as if it's probably, hopefully, just a muscle spasm or something for Mr. Rich Mamie.
The way they're working on that leg, it looks like it is a cramp, and that's a good sign. If it was a ligament damage or cartilage damage, I don't think they'd be twisting the leg like that, but it looks like they're trying to work out a cramp. We've had nice weather here all week, and it's close to mid-70-degree weather right now, so it could be the cramps and losing a lot of water out there because it is fairly hot for football standards.
And that was a huge 3rd down play there for the Bellaire defense to hold the Crusaders. They're going to get the ball back now and probably in pretty decent field position.
Pat Clutter, you're down on the sideline in front of Rich Mamie. What's it look like?
Right now it does look like they're working out a cramp, but they are calling for a doctor here on the sideline. He has a bad right knee, but it does look like they're trying to work out a cramp in the right thigh and also below the leg, the lower part. And they see they're bending the foot right now to work that out. So standing here right below the injury, and if we have any updates on that, I'll let you know. But it appears to be a cramp, as you said, Gino, earlier.
Well, that's good news. Thanks a lot, Pat. 10:42 to go in this one. The score, Steubenville Central 15 and Bellaire 12. And we have a pause in the action, Scott Nordy.
Yeah, let's take a break. We'll come back with more 4th quarter action coming up right after this on our News Channel 7 Sports Special. All righty, welcome back, everybody. Back from the break, and you see Rich Mamie is actually walking off the field under his own power, and that's great news and a great sight to see. Not only for the Big Reds themselves, but also, of course, for Rich Mamie. Good to see him walking off the field underneath his own power.
If I had to bet, Scott, Rich Mamie will be back in this football game. As we said, John Magistro calls him one of the better linebackers he has ever coached, and that is a huge compliment. They've had some great ones here at Bellaire. And Rich Mamie, just a junior. He led the team last year in tackles as a sophomore. He is a big-time player, and it looks like he'll be back in this football game the way he's walking off the field. 4th down at about 6 for the Crusaders. They're going to be forced to punt. Benji Claus will drop back to do so. And the Big Reds are going to drop Timberlake and Jose Davis back to receive the punt. Punt off the foot of Claus is a good spiral kick back inside the 10 at about the 7. That's Jose Davis. Timberlake in front to do the blocking. Davis gets across the 25 and up to about the 26-yard line before he finally goes out of bounds. So it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Big Reds on their own 26-yard line. Plenty of time, 10.5 minutes. We're just inside the 4th quarter of play. 15-12 is your score in favor of the Crusaders of Steubenville Catholic Central. Well, we've seen Jose Davis all season long. They had that quick strike offense, and he can put some points up in a hurry. And it's interesting to see if he will pass the football here.
There they go. They'll split them out. They'll send Timberlake to the far side, and they'll send David Petros to the near side. Ben Taylor's also in there now. No setbacks this time. They'll put men in each slot. Davis on the 5-step drop. Looks out. Gets Timberlake across the 30 and up to the 31-yard line. A pickup of about 5 that time on the reception. It'll be 2nd down and 5. The catch there by Bobby Timberlake.
Yeah, and the Bellaire sideline wanted a late hit call, but Dave Connor's just doing his job. He has to, as a defensive player, you can't make him not want to hit that football player, but he gave him a little bump, and the Bellaire sideline thought it should have been a penalty, but it was not. Maybe a good no call.
2nd down and 5 now for the Big Reds. Ball on the 31-yard line. A trail by 3, 15-12. There is the man we were talking about. They're splitting Scotty Pitts. He's back into action. He's split out to the near side along with Bobby Timberlake. They'll give the handoff inside, this time to Casey Coyne, and Coyne not much doing. A pickup of maybe 1 that time on the carry up to near the 32, and it's going to be 3rd down now, and we'll still call it 5.
Jason Angelica and Chinichibe making the stop on that play.
And good news for Bellaire to see Scotty Pitts back into the contest.
Well, you're talking about a senior, Scotty Pitts. He knows how important this football game is, not only for the progress of this 94 Big Reds team, but it's just a big-time rivalry, these two schools, and he wants to be in there.
3rd down and 5. A key play here for the Big Reds. Davis, the 5-step drop, looking over the middle, threads the needle to his man, Dusty Kinder. And Kinder comes up with a reception up to the 45-yard line. There's a penalty flag back at about the 37. Let's see what this is all about.
I came in the pile a little bit late, and it might be against Steubenville Sentinel. No flag.
Wave it off.
They wave it off.
And that brings the Crusader faithful in an uproar.
I'll tell you what, Dusty Kinder made a great catch. Now, what great concentration by Dusty Kinder, and a great pass by Jose Davis. He had to drop sidearm under the pressure there, but he threaded the needle and he got it into Kinder, and he split number 51, Joe Bracone it is, and also Benji Claus on that play. But great concentration by Kinder to come up with that football.
So it's a 1st and 10 now for the Big Reds at the 45-yard line. Timberlake split to the near side. They'll send Roth, Pitch, and Kinder to the far side. Davis hit as he throws it, and he's knocked to the ground, and we'll have a penalty flag again. That one tossed in near the line, maybe a holding call against the Big Reds, and that's what it is, holding against Bellaire.
Carmine, Montana with the pressure coming from the blind side of Jose Davis. Let me tell you something, he put a big-time hit on him, and Jose's kind of yelling at his alignment right now. He took a pop, and all for nothing because there's a flag on the play, and they're going to push him back even further. But Carmine, Montana, a big-time hit on Jose Davis there.
There's the call, holding against the Bellaire Big Reds offense. Move them back 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
Now, this game's got everything we thought it would be.
Yes.
A great contest here by both teams.
Fantastic game so far today from Nelson Field in Bellaire. This one now, 1st down and 25. And they'll send Davis now back into the shotgun position.
Looks like he might have caught an audible.
He's going to roll out, sets up, looks downfield, got Scotty Pitts open. And Pitts has the ball knocked away that time. Sean Hughes had come over defensively for the Crusaders, and they're both going for the ball at the same time, and neither one of them really got a good handle on it at all. We can look at the play again here.
But what's the adjustment by Jose Davis under tremendous pressure there by number 66, Tony Cannelli, throws a great pass. This ball's right on the money. It just so happens that Sean Hughes and Scotty Pitts met at the same time, but that was a big-time pass there by Jose Davis. That is a tough pass. And
2nd down now and 25 for the Big Reds. They'll keep Davis in the shotgun. Low snap that time. He collects himself. He tucks it and decides to run with it and doesn't get far. Pulled down that time by big number 55. Dave Tuttle got the back of Davis's jersey. And Jose doesn't pick up much. It's going to bring up 3rd and long.
Tell you what, in a close game and also in the 4th quarter, Jose better tuck that football. Carrying it very loosely. You don't want to give up the football right now in your own territory, especially trailing by 3 points.
Pickup of only 3 that time on the carry brings up 3rd and 22. 8.5 minutes left to go here in the contest. The Crusaders leading 15-12. Another low snap. Davis gets it. Pressure in the backfield. Jose unleashes it. This time to Casey Coyne. Coyne gets across the 45 up to about the 47. He's going to be well short of a 1st down. Jose Davis a little slow in getting up in the backfield. He does make it up to his feet, though, and It's going to bring up 4th and still long. Now for the Big Reds, they're going to be faced with a punting situation.
Yeah, you got to punt the football with 8 minutes to go in this football game. And Tony Cannella, what kind of pressure he's been putting on Jose Davis. Jose Davis has got to be sick of that Cannella fella because he's been all over him all day today. Way to go, Tony Cannella.
No Christmas card in the mail this year for Tony Cannella from Jose Davis. And I believe they've called delay a game against the Bellaire Big Reds on the punt. They're going to get moved back another 5 yards.
Actually, I think it was a legal procedure call. Here's the official call right here.
It was a legal procedure. You're right, Gino.
Doesn't really hurt Bellaire. It gives Benny Taylor a little more room to punt. Taylor had a 50-yard punt in his last punt attempt, so Ben Taylor can really boot the football.
Benji Claus is the lone man back. Low snap. Taylor almost had that one blocked. Chinichibe got in there, put good pressure. Bellaire gets a nice bounce, though. Rolls inside the 35, finally goes out of bounds at about the 34. Chinichibe almost got a block that time on the punt by Taylor.
Under the circumstances, a low snap and good pressure by Steubenville Central. Not a bad effort there by Benny Taylor. But Central will take over with great field position. They'll mark the ball at the Central 35-yard line. So pretty good field position for the Crusaders.
7:50 left to go here in the contest. The Crusaders leading by 3, 15-12. Right now with the football. D'Onofrio and Bracone in the backfield. They'll give it to Bracone. Penalty flag on the play. Bracone picks up maybe a yard. There was an initial penalty flag, and then the second one came flying in there. I think they're probably going to call a face mask for the second penalty. I'm not sure what the first one will be.
And looking down the field, Scott Nody, Rich Mamie, the big-time linebacker for Bellaire, is still out of the football game. Bobby Roth in there now. So I see Mamie in there now. Yes, Rich Mamie is in the football game, so that's a good sign for Bellaire. And it's great to see a player with the caliber of Rich Mamie in there.
So with the 2 penalties, 1 on each club, they'll offset. And so basically you just wave the flags off and you go over, you start from the same point again.
3-point football game. 15-12 Crusaders over the Big Reds.
So it's still first down and 10 now for the Crusaders on their own 34. Claus at quarterback. Rolling out, looking downfield. Got his man Connor, and that time he let it slip through his hands.
Boy, that's a first. That is a first. I keep jinxing these players today. I talked about Benji Claus and his kicking game. Well, he's missed a couple extra points. I talked about Dave Connor being such a great possession receiver, and that one went through his hand. Let's take a look at this play here. Davey Connor, if you ask him, he'd tell you he probably should have had this football. Claus puts it right there, and I think he might have heard footsteps. Scotty, or Keith Pitts, that is, on the coverage there. But I think Davey, if you'd ask him, he should have tucked that one away.
So it brings up 2nd and 10 on the incompleted pass. They'll send Connor to the far side this time and split out Danny Lewis to the near side with a split backfield behind Claus. Claus on the 3-step drop will tuck it and run with it. Gets across the line of scrimmage and across the 35. Up to about the 37, so a pickup of maybe 3 on the carry at most. 3rd down and long, 3rd and 7 now, facing the Crusaders.
Rich Mamie making the tackle on Benji Claus. He is all over the football field, both Benji and both Rich Mamie. 2 great players.
Clock turning now, down near 7 minutes to go in the contest. Connor is split to the far side, along with Hughes. Claus back to pass, looking across the middle for his man, Josh Bracone. Goes off of his hand and incomplete. Just a little too tall that time for Bracone. He was open.
And it's a good thing Bracone got a hand on it because that one was very close to being picked off by Bobby Timberlake. He was eyeing. Let's take a look at the replay, Scott. Bobby Timberlake eyeing this football up, but Bracone was able to deflect it past him. You see 83, Timberlake coming into your screen. Might have been picked off.
Ball just tipped and falls incomplete that time, and it's going to be 4th and long, 4th and 7 now for the Crusaders on their own 36, and they're going to be forced to punt again. Timberlake and Davis back deep to receive. Claus will be doing the punting. And we've got an official's timeout. They've blown the whistle to stop the clock. And Bellaire's going to take a timeout, and we will too. 6:51 left to go here in the 4th quarter of play. The Crusaders leading 15-12. Back with more right after this on our News Channel 7 Sports Special. field in Bellaire. 6:51 left to go. The Crusaders with the punt. Benji Claus gets it. That's a high kick and not very long, kind of short. It'll bounce down at about the 35 and then bounce back towards the 30 at about the 32, where it's finally down by Mike D'Onofrio.
I think Mark Mason got a piece of that football, Scott. I do believe he might have, and if he didn't, he caused Benji Claus to change his punting motion. It's a good rush there by Mark Mason, the defensive end for Bellaire.
So it's going to be first down and 10 now for the Big Reds, still trailing by 3 with 6 minutes and 40 seconds left to go here in the contest. They'll line up Davis in the shotgun. Davis looking downfield. Pressure. Pass that in time intended for Bobby Timberlake. Great, though, coverage that time by Danny Lewis, the defensive back for the Crusaders.
I tell you what, Jose Davis forced that football. He's lucky there. Might want to throw that ball out of the off the sidelines, or at least run for maybe possibly a first down. But Jose forcing that ball. He's got to be careful here with 3 point. He's trailing by 3 points, and just a little over 6 minutes to go here in the football game.
Second down and 10 now, still for the Big Reds. I set this time behind Davis with Coyne and Pitts. Davis looking downfield, looking for his man Bobby Roth. He's got him. Roth with the reception deep into Crusader territory at the 39-yard line.
Wow.
And how many big plays is Bobby Roth going to make today?
Well, he's made 3 that I can think of right now, and you only need 1 foot in high school football to stay in bounds, and obviously Bobby Roth had at least 1 in bounds. A great pass, but more importantly, a better catch there by Bobby Roth. A big-time catch. Let's take a look at the replay here. No, it's not Bobby Timberlake or Scotty Pitts, but it's Bobby Roth. Look at this ball. Great work there by our cameraman, and a great catch there by Bobby Roth.
Back to live action. A short gain that time by Jose Davis. Well, a little bit more than a short gain. Actually, a pickup of nearly 5. It's going to be second down now and 5 for the Big Reds. Underneath 6 minutes, the clock turns. Now at 5:55 left to go here in the fourth quarter. The Big Reds trailing 15-12 to the Crusaders. They'll split Timberlake to the near side. I set once again, this time behind Davis. The 5-step drop. Davis looking downfield over the middle. Almost intercepted that time. Is that Benji Claus?
Yes,
it was.
Davis was looking for number 10, Dusty Kinder. Once again, he forced the football, but this time it was the wrong number 10. It was Benji Claus trying to intercept the football. I think Benji wish he had that one back.
So it's going to bring up a third down situation, 3rd and 3. Closer to actually 4. They need to get across the 30 to about the 28.5. So it's close to about 4.5 yards they need for a first down. Davis, the drop, looking downfield. Got Pitts there. Pitts, the reception. Turns it upfield, and Scotty Pitts is going to go. Touchdown, Bellaire. And Pitts, I think, injured his ankle once he got into the end zone. We had been talking about that earlier, and I think Scotty Pitts did injure his ankle once he finally got into the end zone, but the Big Reds have struck.
And there's no flags on this play. 33-yard touchdown pass. But let's take a look at this play, Scott Nolte. He's playing on a bad ankle, Scotty Pitts. He makes a great catch, but at bad ankle, no, he had to make a great turn there upfield. He stayed in bounds. You can tell he's limping on that ankle. What a play by Scotty Pitts, and a great pass by Jose Davis as they carry Scotty Pitts off the field. And Bellaire has taken a 3-point lead. Wow.
So 5.5 minutes left to play here, 5:32 to be exact. The Big Reds are now up by 3, 18-15, and this extra point try is huge.
Huge. Crucial.
The snap. The hold is down. The kick is up. Mark Mason splits the uprights. And the Big Reds have a 4-point lead with 5:32 left to go in the fourth quarter of play. They lead 19-15.
What a football game. Both the Steubenville Central fans and the Bellaire fans on their feet. They really respect the showing these two great football programs are putting on today.
Great to be having a heck of a ball game this afternoon, Gino Startari. I don't think you could ask for a better day, a better crowd, and 2 better teams for us to have on our News Channel 7 Sports Special. Wow. And I don't know if we can.
5:32.
I don't know if we can go down to Pat Clutter, who's roaming the sidelines. Maybe he could give us a little insight down on that touchdown play there to Scotty Pitts. Pat Clutter.
Okay, guys, I am on the sidelines over here on the Bellaire sidelines. I'm sure you can hear the band and the cheering in the background. The momentum definitely took a shift in the third quarter, and these guys are really fired up. I'm over here right now trying to find out the condition of Scotty Pitts. When he crossed the goal line, he twisted the ankle again, the one that was weak. I could see it turn. I was only about 5 feet away from him at the time. It did turn. He is limping. We're going to take a look at that ankle, and I'll get back to you on the condition.
All righty, Pat, thanks a lot. We'll be looking forward to check back in with you here momentarily. 19-15 is your score, folks. 5:32 left to go. Mason tees it up, and this crowd is electrified. And wow, what a kick that time by Mason. Claus takes it at his own goal line. He'll come out. Some blockers in front of him. He's across the 30, the 35, makes a move at the 40, across the 45. He's across midfield into the 49. What a run by Benji Claus.
Let's take another look at this run by Benji. He will not be denied, Benji Claus. He knows his team needs a lift right now. Bellaire has come out in this second half and stole the momentum in this football game. He takes the kick, and what a kick it was by Mark Mason. He takes it 2 yards deep in his own end zone, and he takes it back 54 yards. Look at this, 1 tackle, 2, 3. Still keeps his feet moving. He breaks about 4 or 5 tackles all the way to the Bellaire 48-yard line. A big-time play by a big-time player, Benji Claus. Wow.
Claus coming up to the line of scrimmage, sucking some air. He's got to be tired after that one. They'll hand it off to Josh Bracone, and Bobby Roth is right there. A loss that time on the carry by Bracone of 2. Back to midfield at the 50.
You're seeing 2 great football teams here today, and I stress the word team because they're not just one-dimensional football teams. They have all kind of players. Bobby Roth, the Scotty Pitts, the Benji Claus, the Dave Connors. They are every sense of the word team, both the Crusaders and the Big Reds, and what a performance both of these teams are putting on for us today.
Second down now and about 12 for the Crusaders at midfield. Eye set behind Claus. He's going to keep it with D'Onofrio and Bracone in front of him. He gets through a hole that I don't know how he got through, but he gets across the 45, down to the 44, and he's laying face down right now on the sideline of the Steubenville Central Crusaders is Benji Claus, and probably, Gino, I don't want to speculate, but more than anything, he's probably just out of the air.
I think he's out of gas right now. Hopefully this won't be a serious problem. Right now, Benji Claus is down. Trying to see who they'll put in at quarterback. It'll probably be Rocky Petrozzi. It will be Rocky Petrozzi, number 12, getting set to come into the football game. Right now, that's not a good sight. Benji Claus on the ground.
We're going to take
face first.
We're going to take a closer shot here on the sideline. You see the training staff of the Crusaders working on Benji Claus right now, and we hope that isn't a serious injury at all.
Not a good sign there. Benji has not moved. I don't know if he's might be out or what, but right now Benji Claus is down, and that's not a good sign.
They're holding him still on the sideline. And no, that isn't a good sight right now, Gino Startari, and we hope the best right now for Benji Claus. We don't want to speculate as to injury, but
we do
hopefully
have a
everything is going to be okay.
We do have a timeout right now. Maybe a good time to step away from the action.
Yeah, let's go ahead. We'll take a break here. 4:35 left to go here in the fourth quarter of play. 19-15 your score in favor of the Bellaire Big Reds. Let's take a break here on our News Channel 7 Sports Special. Field in Bellaire, and you can hear by the crowd's appreciation here, Benji Claus has made it to the bench, and he's sitting there right now on the sideline. So fortunately, Benji Claus is looks as if he's going to be all right. Let's go down to Pat Clutter, who's on the sideline.
Okay, guys, we did get an updated injury report down on the sidelines. They initially thought it possibly could have been a neck or a back injury. They were rubbing it, icing it. When they got a doctor over here, the doctor simply said he got his bell rung. He does probably have a mild concussion, but he wants to play. He's really a psycho football player. He does a great job, and he's really in everything for Steubenville Central. But they've taken his pads off, and they want him on the sideline. We'll also have a report on Pitts for you in just a little bit. Thanks a lot, guys. Back up to you.
All righty, Pat, thanks a lot. Josh Bracone on the run that time for the Crusaders.
And he looks like he might be hurt. that he's going to stay in the game.
And I
It
tell you,
looks like Benji's putting his pads back on.
I tell you what,
Great
Gino,
sign.
that's great. Fantastic to see him up and walking around on the
Rocky
sideline.
Petrozzi is in the football game right now, but I can tell you one thing. Benji Claus is putting his pads on right now. I expect him to be back in very soon. Benji Claus has the shoulder pads on right now. This is Rocky Petrozzi, though, in there right now.
The reverse to Dave Connor. A block in front. He's got enough for a first down, and he gets out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. A little misdirection that time by the Crusaders, trying to catch the Bellaire defense, maybe a little off guard.
Chinachibe didn't really make a great block on the play, but he held the defender up
the guy
enough
long
time that
right.
Dave Connor can turn the corner and pick up a first down. And Rocky Petrozzi still is your quarterback. Benji Klaus is putting on the shirt right now over the shoulder pads, and he may be in there in this next play or two. Who knows?
Putting his jersey back on. They had his pads off. They put those back on, and he looks like he might be getting ready. The inside handoff this time to Bracone. He dropped the football, but I think his forward progress had already ended, and yes, it had. Not a gain at all that time on the carry. Second down and 10.
Look for the running backs from now at this part of the game, 3:42 and counting, to hold that football with two hands. They cannot afford a fumble here, especially down by 4. They need a touchdown to score to win this football game. A field goal will not help them, and then you have your place kicker on the sideline right now.
And I think that's exactly what Benji Claus is thinking about. He knows that his team needs a score. 3.5 minutes to go. The rollout, the pass downfield intended that time for Connor. The ball is tipped away and actually goes off of his hands and falls out of bounds. And Rocky Petrozzi pretty good on the rollout that time. Unfortunately for the Crusaders, the ball is just incomplete.
Keith Pitts made the play for Bellaire on defense, but what a position Rocky Petrozzi stuck in here with. He was on the sideline most of the football game watching the great efforts by Benji Klaus, and now he's thrown into the football game. Coach Bain gives him the football and says, hey, go win the football game for me now. So a tough position for Rocky Petrozzi. Benji Klaus still on the sidelines.
And we've got a timeout. The Crusaders have taken a timeout. 3 minutes and 16 seconds left to play here in the game. The lead in favor of the Big Reds at 4, 19-15, and this has been a fantastic ball game all afternoon long, Gino Startari.
Yes, it has. Recapping the scoring, Josh Bracone, 26-yard touchdown, gave Steubenville Central the lead 6-0 with 6:18 left in quarter number 2. Benji Klaus had a 30-yard field goal with 2 seconds remaining in the half. The final play of the first half, Steubenville Central took a 9-0 lead to the halftime locker room. They even increased that lead on a 34-yard touchdown run by Benji that made it 15-0. But the table turned there in quarter number 3. Rich Mamie, a 15-yard touchdown run. The conversion failed. Now, Bobby Roth then intercepted a football of Benji Klaus, and that set up a 1-yard touchdown pass. Jose Davis to Bobby Timberlake, and Bellaire moved within 15-12, and of course the 33-yard touchdown pass. Jose Davis to Scotty Pitts. Scotty Pitts injured his ankle again on the play, and that's where we stand. 19-15. Bellaire leads Steubenville Central. 3:16 to go here in the football game.
Third down and 10 now for the Crusaders. A huge play here on this drive. The drop back by Petrozzi, looking downfield. Going to his tight end, Chinachibe, just overthrew him. Achibe was open. He had gotten past Jose Davis, and Achibe was open.
Take a look
So
at
it's going to bring 4th and 10 now for the Crusaders, and this right here, Gino Startari, is your play of the game.
Just a tough situation for Rocky Petrozzi to be in right now.
Well, they're on the 25. They need to get to the 15 for a first down, trailing by 4, 19-15. 3 minutes and 9 seconds left to go in the contest. The crowd on their feet. Split backfield behind Petrozzi. Twins to the far side. Petrozzi, 5-step drop. Good protection. Looks over the middle. Almost intercepted by Mr. Roth.
Bobby Roth, a huge game today.
And that, Gino Startari, will give the ball back to Bellaire on downs with just over 3 minutes to go. 3 minutes and 4 seconds, and the Big Reds leading by 4, 19-15.
Don't stick a fork in the Steubenville
not at
Crusaders
all.
yet. There's still time left in this football game. Bellaire has the football now on their own 25, but what can you say about Bobby Roth today? He's still in the limelight.
He's had a heck of an afternoon, has Bobby Roth. So the Big Reds will take over, leading by 4, 19-15, 3 minutes and 4 seconds to go. I set behind Davis. They'll just run the ball this time, giving the handoff in the backfield for the short gain. Carry that time, I believe that was by Pitts. And yet was Pitts, and maybe we can go down to Pat Clutter. He talked to Pitts earlier, and maybe Pat could give us an update on what Pitts' condition is as he's back in the ball game right now.
The trainer at Bellaire told me that Pitts does have a bad right ankle right now. He did twist it going across the goal line on his last touchdown. However, he says this is the type of athlete that he wants to just suck it up and play. And Pitts was telling him when I was there that he wanted to get back in the game, so they iced it, and he's back in there doing his thing for the Big Reds.
Alrighty, thanks a lot, Pat Clutter. And as you talk about him, he gets the ball again. Scotty Pitts on the carry. No gain at all that time. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and long. Still about 3rd and 9 now for the Big Reds. And this is going to be a big play also because Steubenville Catholic Central needs the ball back.
The Crusaders have risen to the occasion today several times on defense. This is one of those times again. They stopped them on the goal line earlier in the game. Now they have to stop Bellaire again, and we have a timeout in the action. I think Bellaire wants to talk it over. A big 3rd down and 11. Chinachibe and Greg D'Onofrio stopping Pitts that play, but they need to stop them. This is the ball game right now. They have to stop and get the ball back into the hands of their offense.
Exactly. So it's a big play for both sides, not only for the Crusaders, but then obviously also for the Big Reds because they want to try and hold the ball and just be able to run the rest of the clock out, leading by 4, 19-15. Now, a field goal will not tie it nor win it for the Crusaders, so if they do get the ball back, they're going to have to punch one into the end zone, and right now it looks like they'll have to do it without their starting quarterback, Benji Claus, who's still on the sideline.
Benji Claus has his helmet on his head right now, and who knows if they can hold Bellaire on this play and force him to punt. We may see Benji back in this football game. He's walking around. Now his helmet is off. I think he's going to come back in. I really do, Scott.
It's probably more of a decision, obviously, up to the medical staff and the coaches for the Crusaders, because I think if Benji Claus had his way, he would already be back in the ball game. But obviously, when you're dealing with a medical condition, you want to make sure that everything is 100% correct in your decision making. And Bellaire moved before the snap. That's going to be a penalty against the Big Reds, moving back another 5 yards, and that's big. That's real big because you not only consider trying to pick up the 1st down, but also on the punt if they don't pick up the 1st down here on a long 3rd down.
And they keep pushing them back.
That's going to be 3rd and 16 now, Gino.
And if they do have to punt, it looks like Steubenville can get the ball back in great field position.
And there's still 2 minutes and 17 seconds still left to go here in the 4th quarter. They'll split Timberlake out to the near side. They'll send Rich Mamie to the far side. I set this time behind Davis. Davis is going to have to tuck it and run with it. He's got some real estate in front of him. Breaks the tackle, gets across the 25, and doesn't get any further than the 27 once he's finally brought down. The clock will continue to turn. There should be just less than 2 minutes to go once they finally get lined up and go ahead and try the punt. So it does bring up 4th down, and the Big Reds will take their time getting set, and they'll probably waste as much time as possible. Looks as if they're probably even going to take the delay of game penalty.
And with Benji Claus out of the football game, he will not return the punt. Back deep is number 20, Dave Connor, and also a sophomore. Number 32, Troy Dennis is back. So Benji Claus not returning the punts. We'll see if he does come in on the next series of offensive plays.
The Big Reds here with the punt. And they will take the delay of game. I don't know if they were going to take it or not, if they were going to try and get it off just before the end, but they are penalized. 5 yards will be the penalty marking, so moving back another 5. They were on the 28, moving back to the 23 now. A minute and a half to go, 1:27 to be exact for you, and the Crusaders will get the ball back, trailing by 4, 19-15. This punt and punt coverage by the Big Reds will be huge here in the final minute and a half of play. Low punt this time, wobbly, comes up to Connor. Picked up, though, on the bounce there by number 19, Frank Lawyer. Lawyer that time picked it up on the bounce. I think Connor, once he had to go to his knee, was just going to let it bounce and allow the Big Reds to down it. We can look at it again here on the replay.
I want to see if Connor touches this football. I can't tell if he touched the football, if that may have been a fumble. We take a look at it again here. Jason Dowling for Bellaire made the stop on the play. Benny Taylor punting.
There's the punt. You see it comes down. It bounced just in front of Connor, and then Lawyer picks it up. Back to live action now. Petrosky in at quarterback. The swing pass out to Bacone. A blocker in front of him. He's across midfield. Breaks a tackle across the 45. Gets out of bounds at the 41. That, Gino Startari, is a heads-up play by a very smart tailback in Josh Bacone.
Josh Bacone knew exactly where that sideline was. And Bacone acting like he's a senior out there, a seasoned veteran. This kid's only a junior. And he knew he wanted to get more yards, but more importantly, he knew he had to get out of bounds, and that's just what he did.
And, Gino, we were talking about it. What a pressure cooker to be pulled in as a quarterback like Petrosky, and Petrozzi, that is. And he's playing a heck of a ball game right now.
It's his game to win right now, it looks like, with Benji on the sideline.
Rocky Petrozzi, the quarterback. Split backfield behind him. Twins to the near side. Petrozzi, the 5-step drop. Going downfield for his tight end, and it's intercepted. No, they're going to say he was out of bounds, was Jose Davis. And I think he only got 1 foot in bounds, or it was either on the sideline.
Pat Clutter is down on the sidelines right now. Pat, how did that play look to you, Pat Clutter?
Gino, we're standing just about a foot away from the play. It was an excellent call on the part of the official. He intercepted the ball, but his foot went out of bounds right after the interception. Great effort on both teams.
He only needs 1 foot in, he needs to have both feet in bounds, so let's see if he did it. Let's see if he has it.
As soon as I gave him the report,
here's the replay.
I said, I think he was out of bounds too. And he says, we'll replay it.
I think if you ask Jose Davis, he thinks he had it.
This is Chinachibe with the football right now. Back to live action for the Crusaders. He's going to be near a first down. He did not get out of bounds, so the clock will continue to roll down to 35 seconds, and the Crusaders will take a timeout. Chinachibe was just short of a first down that time. Get to about the 31-yard line, needs the 30 for a first down. We've got 35 seconds left to go. 19-15 is your score in favor of the Big Reds, and the Crusaders right now on the move.
I'll tell you what, Scott, I'm getting exhausted just watching this football game. What a game.
There you see it, folks. The clock is in your lower right corner of your television screen. Our score, 19-15. And 35 seconds is what we have left to play here in what has been a very exciting afternoon of high school football here at Nelson Field.
You have to think that the doctors have told Benji Claus that he will not come in because he has the helmet off. It looks like he wants to come in, but, you know, health comes first in this this great game of football. And Rocky Petrozzi's moving the football for the Crusaders.
Petrozzi is doing a heck of a job, having to come just off the sideline. His team down by 4 points at 19-15, and locked into a very good ball game here with a very good Bellaire team. So it's third down now and short. Third, and we'll call it about 1.5. It's close to 2 yards. They need to get to about the 30-yard line, just shy of it for a first down. They're on the 32. Eye set behind Petrozzi. They'll option him out to the far side. Petrozzi has enough for the first down and gets out of bounds. Good job that time by the Crusaders. Good blocking by not only the offensive line, but also the backs out of the backfield to lay down some key blocks for Petrozzi. And he gets out of bounds and stops the clock, Gino, with 28 seconds left to go.
Yeah, Rocky showing why Greg Bain can count on him. Rocky Petrozzi, he's a senior quarterback. So he's been around the beach and back a couple of times, and right now he's leading the charge. 28 seconds.
First down and 10, split backfield. Petrozzi drops back, looks downfield, needs to get the ball away, does, and incomplete. Wow. Nearly intercepted that time over near the far sideline, and that's the type of mistake you might receive when you put a quarterback who hasn't had that much game experience into a tough situation. But he needed to get rid of the ball, didn't want to actually have a loss and then allow the clock to continue to run.
2 near interceptions here in this one.
We're down to 19 seconds left to go. Second down and 10. Ball on the 28-yard line. Petrozzi, your quarterback. Wideouts to the near side are Connor and Danny Lewis. 2 men in the backfield. They'll fake the handoff. Petrozzi looking downfield. Going to the end zone, and it is intercepted. He was going for Dave Connor. Jose Davis picks it off. And with 8 seconds left, the Bellaire Big Reds will take over. Petrozzi just threw it into way too much coverage that time. There were 3 Bellaire Big Red defenders around Dave Connor that time.
I feel for Rocky Petrozzi right now. I feel for the kid. He was put in a tremendous situation, a tremendous amount of pressure. He was flirting with disaster the last couple of throws with the near interceptions. That time it was Jose Davis. You hear it all the time. It's cliche, but both these teams playing their hearts out today. It's a shame that one of these teams have to walk away on the losing side.
I don't know if we can take a look at that again or not on the replay. I don't know if we have that one, but Petrozzi did throw it into triple coverage that time. And unfortunately, probably an inexperienced move on his hands. And the Bellaire Big Reds will take back over now. 8 seconds left to go here in the ball game. And this has been an excellent played ball game on both sides and just a fantastic ball game. I've been happy to be a part of it this afternoon, and I hope you've enjoyed our News Channel 7 sports special, everybody. It's been a great ball game, and a great job today done by the entire News Channel 7 sports staff. Obviously, Gino and I don't have enough time to run down everybody's name, and if we did, we'd probably leave somebody out. But for myself and also for Gino Starchari, thanks, guys.
Thanks, camera operators. Pat Clutter, a fine job today. Jerry Case on camera. Bob Gessler. And as I said, if we missed anybody, we're sorry.
John Ruskowski, Dave Sly, Missy Tiber.
That's right.
Bill Cullum, Joe Dumas.
And it's over.
That is the
Bellaire
end of your
stays
ball game.
unbeaten.
19-15 is your final. The Bellaire Big Reds come back from being down early and go on to win 19-15 over the Steubenville Central Catholic Crusaders here at Nelson Field this afternoon in Bellaire. What a great game today, Gino Starchari.
Yeah, it was a battle of 2 football halves. In the first half, it was all Steubenville Central. Bellaire, you got to love their bellyache, their belly button effort in this one, Scott. They come back from being down 15-0. They scored 19 unanswered points. A great game today by Bobby Roth and crew. Jose Davis, he fought an injury early in the game. He comes up with the interception to put this one on ice. But as we said, what a football game. Probably the best football game I've been associated with this football year. And like I said, it's tough to see one team lose this football game today. With the win, Bellaire stays unbeaten. And, wow.
And that now is the second loss of the season now for the Steubenville Central Catholic Crusaders, and that's going to be a tough one, I'm sure, for them in the polls, and it'll probably drop them out of the top 4 position in Division 5 Region 17, unfortunately, losing this afternoon here at Nelson Field here in Bellaire.
Pat Clutter is on the football field right now. I know he has John Magistro. We'll try to find Pat. But as you said, what a football game by Bellaire. They, once again on the home field here at Nelson Field, they find just enough to come up with a win. They got a big scare against Edison. They got a big scare against Cambridge. Another huge scare here today by Steubenville Central, but they come up winners. The cream, I guess, rises to the top. As we said, they win today. They come back from being down 15-0 to come up with a 19-15 win.
And, Gino, this should also be a good, game for the Big Reds and moving up in the polls, winning tonight, or this afternoon, and moving to 6-0 and defeating a team that was one of the top 4 teams here in Region 17. So it should allow the Big Reds to move up in the polls this week in Ohio.
We knew we had ourselves a dandy here today, and it was everything and more we can expect out of these 2 football teams today.
You know, Gino, I was naming everybody off. I stopped. I still want to thank Grant Fletcher, our director today, who's doing a great job at Vernon Lawyer. Also, I think I already named Bill Cullum off already this afternoon. Jim Abraham, Bob Gessler, one of our photographers. Also, several other people also taking a part this afternoon. A great job today here. Dave Sly, John Ruskowski, I think we already got their names in here,
and
too.
Don't forget, the man in charge, not Tom Scholl, but the man in charge of the live crew, the News Channel 7 Sports live crew, Jumpin' Joe Dumas, who I know he's happy today because he's from Bellaire, and he's a big Reds fan, so I'm sure he's happy today, but we're just happy to have this great football game passed along to the Ohio Valley airwaves, and what a game it was.
Also, Jim Haybeck and also Tom Scholl, like you said, also a member of the News Channel 7 Sports staff here today, and a great job by everybody this afternoon here, and what a great ball game also for us to be able to bring to you here as part of our News Channel 7 Sports Special.
John Magistro talking to the troops right now. every game that the Bellaire Big Reds play here, they always group around the 20 or 30-yard line. They talk over the football game with the troops. John Magistro, you know, a class act. And you see the players putting their helmets up. They know it was a huge win today, and it's going to be, I think, a stepping stone into hopefully a long playoff run for the Bellaire Big Reds. Pat Clutter is on the field as they break the huddle down there. He's trying to grab John Magistro, and I do believe he has him.
Yeah, Pat Clutter is down there, and yes, he does have head coach John Magistro, the winning coach from this afternoon's contest. Let's go down to Pat Clutter on the field.
Thanks a lot, guys. With the winning coach, John Magistro. Coach, the Cardiac kids maybe from Bellaire, but an excellent football game on both sides of the field. A great afternoon.
Yes, they're going to make an old man out of me sooner than I want to be. But I'll tell you, our kids, for some reason, it seems like we have to have a challenge ahead of us before we rise to the occasion. I hope we don't do that too often. But we thought we had a good game plan going in. We stuck with it. We didn't try to change at halftime, and our kids believed in it. And as a result, we come out with a win.
How about your quarterback in Pitts? These guys did a great job today. He had some injuries, and they really sucked it up and did it when they had to.
I'll tell you what, if you people knew how bad Scott Pitts was hurting, you'd go up to him and give him a big hug, because he's at about 50 or 60%, but he played hard. They had guys hurt. They played hard. I thought you saw a great high school football game today from both sides, and Steubenville Central's a classy team, and we beat a good football team. We're real proud of ourselves.
Yeah, you sure did, Coach. You know, that's one of those games where you have to coach to the final second. They were still coming at you right down when the clock was at 3 seconds. What are you thinking of in those closing moments?
Well, we've had a lot of closers with them in the past where they've beaten us with a field goal last year. A couple years ago, we had a field goal taken away from us where we won the game. So every time Bellaire and Steubenville Central plays, it's a game, and we knew we weren't out of it until it said zeros up on the board.
Well, I think that's how your kids, have hung in there week after week, and now you look ahead at your schedule. You got a tough one to go, but boy, you got to feel good about this win today. This was a dandy.
We feel very good about it. Like I said, anytime you beat a Steubenville Central team, you got to feel good about it. I just hope guys that are hurt will heal up and be ready to go next week, and because we're playing Lindsley, who's just improving every week. So we got our work cut out for us, and we're ready to accept the challenge.
John, congratulations. It was a nice afternoon. Glad to be with you. Thanks a lot. Okay, Coach, good luck. That's Coach John Magistro of the Bellaire Big Reds, and I'll tell you what, guys, we viewed an exciting game here on the field this afternoon. You guys did a great job giving us the play-by-play and the color commentator, and we talked to some great people this afternoon on both sides of the field. Steubenville Central Catholic people and also people here on the Bellaire side. A great afternoon of high school football. That's the way it ought to be. Back to you in the booth.
All righty, Pat. Thanks a lot. A great job also on your part. You did a fantastic job down on the sidelines today. And
we still missed the poncho.
Yeah, where's that poncho, Pat? We want it back. The Pat Clutter poncho. And got a little shot down there. Hey, thanks for the sign. Put that sign back up. Yeah, watch TV7 tonight. You're exactly right. Thanks a lot for the sign, guys. And a great job here. Your final score once again from Nelson Field in Bellaire. The Steubenville Central Catholic Crusaders 15, the Bellaire Big Reds 19, as Bellaire comes up with a big win this afternoon. So for Gino Startari and for Pat Clutter, this is Scott Nolte saying so long from Nelson Field in Bellaire for our News Channel 7 Sports Special.